Welcome to the fucking show.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Wolfpack Wednesday, a special Saturday night edition with my Wolfpack brethren in the house. We had Han Solo be announced. Was that Thursday or Friday? That was Friday.
I think it was
right? Yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
I thought it was Thursday.
Yeah, it was Thursday, like right after.
Thursday morning, because I was at work.
All right, so Thursday. So the day after we go live. So this is a figure that's really a character that's really important to all of us here. We all love Star Wars. And we just really didn't want to wait until next week to talk about him. We were so excited that we're just like, man, let's just go live and talk about what we think, hang out with you guys out there on a Saturday night. Again, special edition. But also the other thing that I kind of want to go back to, which we talked about a little bit on Wednesday, was Catwoman. You know, I think we had some mixed reviews at first, and myself being the biggest, judge of it too. But I've seen some of the sideshow unboxings and some pictures of it in hand, and I gotta say, I for one am kind of falling in love with it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit further too. Maybe we'll talk about with this Han Solo character what that means for other characters like Indiana Jones. Stuff like that might happen with Hot Toys. And it's going to be a loose show. So if you guys have anything that you just want to talk about, you want to, bring up questions for us, just let us know in the chat. Obviously, hit that like button on your way in. Say hi to us. Let us know you're watching. And before we get into saying hi to everybody, I want to say hello to my panel here. We have DLO The Collector, Brick Artemis, and EvilSneaker himself. A couple of these guys have been going hard lately with streams. So again, just want to thank you guys for pulling it together on a Saturday night and hopping on here with me and talking figures. So Dilo, what's going on with you, sir? How's your weekend been so far?
Man, when you told me that we might be streaming and talking about Han Solo earlier than expected, it got a lot better. I was the one that said like we should do this, and they finally said okay. So my weekend's great, guys. How about you?
Oh, it's good so far. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. We've been kind of low key, but Brick, how about you? What have you been up to this weekend so far?
Oh man, well, I did a show with 1/6 Figure Focus Shane this morning, so I've been drinking since 10 o'clock. No, I haven't, but I look like I have, but I haven't. No, man, just a lot of stuff coming up. So doing some live, watched some racing with my son earlier this evening, and just chilling. Got a nice cheeseburger for dinner. I'm pumped.
Sounds good.
Cheating.
Yeah, we stopped at a place called Copper Penny for like basically a brunch, and I got some nice big chocolate chip pancakes this morning with some eggs. Last night we watched Wonka with the kids. I took them to see that in the theater, and they really loved it, so I bought it for them. So we watched that too. But other than that, yeah, we've been kind of laying low. But Sneaker, how about you, man?
It's been a busy week, so I was just actually thinking about it. This is actually my fourth night streaming in a row because I forgot that like we streamed on Wednesday, and then I was like, Wednesday it was us, and then Thursday I was on Hot Toys Hotline, and then yesterday I did a solo stream, no pun intended, and then now back. This is my biggest streak, and I dropped 2 reviews. Like I dropped this Wrecker review yesterday. I dropped this Mark III review today. And then 6 days ago, I dropped this Cobb Vanth review. So I've just been like putting out tons of content, and yeah, it feels good. Feels good. I wanted to get that stuff out there and kind of see what YouTube did with like, if I put videos on 2 separate, like back-to-back days, just kind of for my channel, like whether or not like what that does. Analytics wise, and see if it like, I'm just curious more so because I haven't really posted a lot of long form content on my channel. So yeah, it's been a busy time, but I've been working on those reviews for a while now, since I got the figures, just piecing them all together and doing all the filming. So yeah, anyways, it has been a busy but fun week.
Yeah, I was checking out your Mark III today, and then I was on the TV, and I was at kind of like your video page, and I was like, okay, I'm like, this guy's done like 5 videos in the last 7 days. I'm like, it's nuts. It's just going crazy over there. He's going ham. So good for you. Good for you.
Thanks.
All right, let's say hi to the chat. Before we do that, again, want to invite you guys to like this video, subscribe to all of our channels, and ring the bell so you don't miss any Wolfpack Wednesdays coming your way. Also, I am an affiliate with ModuSpace, so go hit my link down below if you're thinking about buying some Modu cases, and use my code to hit $20 off. Would be greatly appreciated. Let's see who is joining us on this special Saturday night. We have channel member Action in the Box. For me, it's a Sunday edition. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. We got the movie canon in the house, dropping a $1.99 super chat right off the bat. Thank you so much for the generosity and for the $1.99. Do very much appreciate it, and I thank you for your support. That's awesome. Another channel member is Jazzy in the house. Wolfpack Saturday. Let's effing go. Yes, we are in the house. We are ready to roll. We got Flavio's House of Collectibles. Good evening, everyone. Another newer channel member. How you figure? Saturday night stream. We are here. We are locked in. We got Mike Litteris, another channel member. Hello. Let's try that again. Hello to the people. Yeah, Action in the Box is using those emojis that channel members can use. So yeah, think about doing that. We got Luis in the house. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. Chris, another diehard, is here. Thank you for being here on Saturday night. X-Man, always good to see you. Saw him earlier this morning on 16 Figure Focus's stream with Brick, and that was a lot of fun. So if you guys missed that, go hit that up on Shane's channel. This is going to make him happy too, because he's been in my ear, kind of manifesting that I would love this figure. He even messaged me on Instagram like, you're going to love this figure. It looks good. Just, you got to get it. And it's working. Like, I'm seeing it more and more, and I'm seeing some of these poses and the likeness, and DLO said it, and I'm like, I think these blogger pics just suck, and not that they suck, but just they didn't do the figure justice, because it's still a talent to take those photos. So Brad Cormac in the house. Hey guys, too sweet to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a channel member. We got Joven in the house. Hello. Y'all threw me off for a bit. I thought it was Wednesday again. I know, right? 16 Delight. Hello and welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. AZ Figs. It's Wednesday already. No, but let's hang out anyway. Striker 47. Good to have you in here. Always commenting on my videos too. I appreciate you. Good evening, Pack. RIP to Carl Weathers. Hot Toys should have given us the Great Magistrate after 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. Yeah, I just want to quickly say shitty news about Carl Weathers and him passing away at 76 years old. That was yesterday, I believe.
That was yesterday.
And yeah, I guess he passed away in his sleep, which if you have to go is probably the best way to go. But nonetheless, sad to lose, a star like that. And obviously we didn't know him on a personal level. So just thoughts and prayers with his family. But just really quickly, guys, just to pay Carl Weathers a little bit of respect. What's the movie that sticks out to you when you hear about Carl Weathers? Deal, I want to start with you, man. What are you going to remember him for?
I'm going to remember for a lot, but I guess the one that's probably that put him on the map is probably the one that I think of him most fondly as Mr. Apollo Creed himself. So, yeah, the man instantly became a legend. Welcome into our hearts. Just guy has charm for days, and he was just such a good dude. So, yeah, it's really tough to hear the news about Carl Weathers there.
Yeah. What are you, Brick?
Rocky all day. Those especially those first 2 movies, man, just classics. And Apollo Creed was something of a figure himself too. So the way that he was able to bring Apollo Creed to life was pretty amazing from childhood to now.
Yeah. What about you, Sneaker?
Yeah, Apollo Creed is obviously a good choice. There's so many, but I loved him also as Grief Karga in The Mandalorian. But I think the one, like when you say Carl Weathers, the one that comes to mind actually for me is Happy Gilmore. Like that one is just like, that's the one that just like like the first one that comes to my mind because it's just such a funny movie. But
He was great in that
obviously-
one.
Yeah, he was
That's
great
a
in that one. But
tad bit in.
yeah, it's all in the hips. Like there's just so many. There's so many different things. But I'll say Happy Gilmore. But yeah, Grief Karga too. He was excellent as Grief Karga.
Yeah.
So definitely will be missed.
Yeah, and he really showed off his range, by doing Happy Gilmore too, because
Yeah.
I'll remember him the most for Predator, being in
Right.
that movie. But he was in Predator. He was in the Rocky movies. He was in Toy Story 4 as the military action figure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He did that as well, and obviously Happy Gilmore and other stuff too. Mandalorian is what we know him for recently, and I know when season 3 was going on, we were really hoping that we would get a Grief Karga figure. It's hard to say, but what do you guys think? Do you think it's less likely to happen now that he's passed on?
I feel like it's more likely, to be honest with you. Just, in our recent history with some people that we've lost too soon, Chadwick Boseman kind of comes to mind here, where, initially we thought, it would be disrespectful if we did another Black Panther figure after he passed away, because we had just got the solo movie version of him. So, we had 2 at that point. But Hot Toys, they went ahead and gave it a little bit of time and released a second version of the original suit. So I'd say it's definitely possible. And I think there's quite a few. I think there's a few. We have Brandon Lee from The Crow, right? Post-mortem figure.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think if there's a market for it, Hot Toys will make it. And I think someone like Carl Weathers would definitely be a great figure to have in someone's collection. So yeah, I see it happening for sure.
So are they doing a season 4 of Mando? Is that confirmed or not yet?
So apparently it's back and forth from here. They're doing the movie, but they're still going to do a season 4 now. That part was just recently confirmed.
Which comes first, the movie or season 4?
That's up in the air. Disney doesn't.
That's
know
up
yet.
in the area. I think
Because I'm just wondering, do they recast him, or what do they do with that character? But it's tough to say. It's all very fluid right now. So
and I feel like too, like for his character, I don't know how much more like they could probably get away with not including like that area, like part of that in the story potentially. I guess like they could probably work their way around it because it's not like a main critical aspect of the story. But yeah, it's interesting. This keeps going. Like the movie was revealed or whatever, and then they said then there was rumblings like, oh, this is replacing season 4. Like that was the rumor for a while. This is replacing season 4. It's going to be the movie. But then yeah, there's more rumblings of like season 4 is just like still in the works, combined with the movie. I still hope we get season 4 in the movie. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I would definitely be wanting to get a figure. Who did the Rocky figure of Apollo Creed? Was that
Star Ace?
Star Ace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. And that's the only action figure like in 1/6 scale form of Carl Weathers or Apollo Creed, correct?
Well, you have the original Hot Toys. Hot Toys had the license first.
Okay.
So there is like an Apollo out there, a Drago,
Yeah,
and a
it's
Rocky.
or something right now.
So, but presently, yes, Star Ace is the license holder.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's keep on moving here. We got Tighter FL in the house. Saturday stream. Hell yeah. Single songwriter in the house. Hello, collectors from around the world. Click that like button. Thank you so much, sir. Always appreciate seeing single songwriter in these chats. Obviously a staple in the community. And just a good overall dude to get some input from. So appreciate you being here, my friend. We got Eddie in the house. I thought I was drunk when I read this title. Is it because we were on today, or it just didn't make sense? Because I'm not the best with words at sometimes. So, but thank you for being here nonetheless. We got Born Again Saturday night with the Wolfpack. Yeah, we haven't done a Saturday night. God, since last summer?
Ladies' night, maybe.
Ladies'
I
night,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So, I know we all like to do stuff on the weekends and whatnot, but every once in a while, it's fun to just kind of change the pace and get on here Saturday nights. So, Hammer of God, thank you for being here. It's going pretty good. We got Doc Bat. All the usuals are showing up for us tonight, though. So I do appreciate that. We'll be patient with my wallet. We'll be patient with my wallet. We'll be patient with my wallet. I know. I'm telling myself the same thing. Like I'm chatting with these guys today, and I'm like, "Hey guys, you get Catwoman for this price. Just let you know." And they're like, "Don't do it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just letting you guys know." You know, like I'm just waiting for that one response. Be like, "Oh man, that's a good deal." Or man, I'm thinking about it, and then I'll be like,
It's not.
purchase." But
It's not.
I know. Let's see here. Yeah, Predator. Rocky. I can't hear the name Carl Weathers and not think of him locking hands with Arnold. Yep.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
We got Darth Tamaris in the house. Oh shit, here we go again. Can't avoid these fucking guys. We are back. Yeah. Okay, so thank you, 16 Delay. He says MMS 36 Apollo. Okay. Yes, very early on. Very early on. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you guys for being here. Let's just dig right into it. Do we want to start with Han Solo, or do we want to kind of catch back up with Catwoman and leave Han Solo for the main event? I'll leave it up to you guys on the panel.
Should we let Graham have his Catwoman now?
Let's do it. Yeah,
Let's do it, yeah.
he can't hold it any longer.
That's fair. Because we also we kind of left off on the show on Wednesday with Catwoman, right? Because that was kind of like fresh on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sneaker.
Let's revisit.
Yeah,
A little
There you go.
revisit. I'm just gonna pull up the sideshow video. Let's see here. I wasn't prepared for this, but here it is anyway. We're good. Let's just start. Let's just really quickly go through some of the photos. Okay, so we looked at these on Wednesday. I don't want to rehash these too much. I think this looks good. I kind of like the goggles down even better too. I think the overall look of the portrait looks good. Yeah, this is still a little iffy. They got the skin color right. She was more pale in the movie. I think the body looks good. I think the only issue that we're maybe seeing is just kind of in the face. Would that be correct, guys? Proportions look good.
Yeah, proportions
hair.
look pretty decent there. The only thing I noticed when we got a chance to see the video for the unseal and reveal, I noticed that she has the same neck problem that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man has, where the head is a little too big for the neck that it's on, and it makes the head look a little bit bobblish.
So here you got the box art, which I do like. I think it's a really cool image of Anne Hathaway on the front. I like the black and white, kind of the same as the DX19. They're kind of going a little bit of that same technique with that, yeah. And then obviously here you have everything that comes.
The box art.
What's that?
I said your closet will love the box art.
I know, right? Would you guys really even care if Hot Toys literally just packed this thing in the foam or the clamshell in a cardboard box?
Would you care? It's a good question, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I would.
I think you want it to look premium, like they put effort into it. Like I think it's nice we get these boxes that look nice, but and there's some people who would also display their boxes, but for me, I mean, it's cool to look at, and then it just goes in the storage. So, but yeah, it should feel the box makes it feel premium. I feel like too when you have nice graphic on the box,
right? And part of the fun is the unboxing experience, and you want that to be an experience that you enjoy and kind of lasts a little bit. I was going to do a poll, and maybe I will tonight, on what is the biggest thrill of collecting. Is it the hunt? Is it the unboxing? Is it putting it on the shelf, or is it just the everlasting having it in your display? I'm kind of curious, like, what's the biggest thrill? Dang,
it's a good question.
So, maybe we'll visit that tonight, or we'll just have that as a topic for one of these weeks. We'll see. It just popped in my head. So, anyways, let's get back to the figure. Yeah, I think this looks good. I like the little like brownish, reddish lens. So again, we talked about it too. We weren't 100% positive, but this is going to be fixed. The mask is fixed to the head, and what that does is it keeps the hair to where it's supposed to be, keeps everything in place. So you could remove it, but they urge you not to. Anybody here, if you got the figure, would you remove it?
Yep, I would.
No.
I would probably remove it to just like, I would like to see it without the mask on. I don't know if I would pose it that way necessarily, but I would probably try if you're able to.
Was it just glued on the sides, like by the temples? Is that what's going on, or how is this attached?
I don't know if it's glued. I think they just don't want you to take it off, maybe.
Because I think Sideshow even said permanently attached.
Permanently. Yep.
Oh, they said it was permanently
fixed.
attached.
Permanently fixed.
Oh,
or
permanently
something
I
like
just
that.
remember like
on
yesterday
the-
I was
yeah.
talking about like in the stream I did, like Mike Pause Literus showed, like sent me a picture of the instructions where it says like obviously it's not meant to be removed, but it said to not. I think the main point was that like they don't want you to mess up the placement of the hair because it's kind of holding the hair in place.
Right.
They don't want you to
Right.
see that horrid head sculpt.
Oh, stop. It
That's
looks
why.
good.
Stop,
Oh,
please.
dude, no.
stop.
Come on.
Something I was a little let down about is this almost looks just screen printed. This panel here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe in person it's not going to look as good as it did in like the prototype images. So your normal window display box, which is my least favorite style of art box, but it is what it is. I wish they'd all be packed in foam in like a DX
nice.
style. I don't know. I think the proportions look really good. I do worry how will this hold up over time. But I was watching Dean Knight's actual video on it too, and he thought it looked like different material, and obviously this figure came out in like 2011, I think. So
Mhm.
it is very old. You would hope that the material is going to be a lot different than then. You'd also kind of hope there would be more upgrades though for a figure that's that old. I don't know. How's it make you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel like this is kind of like a half-assed 2.0, or do you feel like it's justified? They did enough? Brick, what do you think?
I mean, I know some people are liking it and some people aren't. I personally do think that it's a half-assed 2.0. I think they could have done a lot better, especially since we waited so long for it. That being said, I do think it's better than the original. I think in some of these photos we do see more improvement than others, but like I said before, I do not like the side profile one bit, and the hair bothers me, worries me a little bit, but I guess what are you going to do with that? And then if you do take off her mask, it really does look bad. It looks like her forehead is too spaced out, like her eyes are just it's just really awkward. But and the suit, I mean, the proportions are fine if we talk about the body. But I just watched this movie today. DLO, I know you've watched it recently too. This is probably one of the only movies that I saw Anne Hathaway as like a badass. Like, obviously, I mean, she went from what, Princess Diaries to Dark Knight Rises. I mean, and she was hot, man. She had like her leg up, the heel pressed up against the dude's hand, and like did some crazy athletic stuff. Like, she was pretty badass, and I don't know if the proportions fit what her character looked like on film. She just seemed more thin. She didn't look very thick in any places at all. But she looked good in the suit. I don't know what they were trying to do with this. If they were trying to make her look more thick, if they were trying to have more of a like a physique or what, but that's not what she had in the film. This figure, I'm excited for because I do want the Dark Knight figures. And I probably will still get her eventually. Like I said, like once she's on discount or something, if I can find her for a good deal, if she ever is. But I'm not going to say I'm happy with it. I think they could have done a lot better.
What about you, Sneaker?
The more I look at this, figure, the more I like it actually, which is interesting. Like Graham, I sent you a picture today.
I'm trying to
like
bring that up right now.
Yeah, like
actually.
a still that I sent you from somebody's review. And the unboxing and view of this one in hand is like, it just seems so like the likeness. I was looking at that and I was like, whoa, like this actually looks like the likeness is there more so than the blogger photos. I thought when I was looking at that one, I was like, this is drastically different in hand, which I feel like for me personally, it's not that doesn't always happen. Like I think this looks like this head sculpt looks different in this picture versus some of these blogger photos.
Yeah, we got the
And
head-on one that we saw originally.
like-
that I see what Rob's talking about.
yeah.
Just not a
But-
flattering angle. But then, yeah, you got this one, and
This looks like it captures the light. Like this looks like her to me versus a lot of these blogger photos for whatever reason. And I feel like the Padme ones are kind of the same. It seems like the blogger photos, you're getting these people that have this in the Padme in hand, and it just looks better in a lot of these like in hand photos and like video unboxings. But like this looks really good right here in this photo. I think this captures it really well. It makes me feel like also the lighting isn't as harsh. I feel like in some of these blogger photos, the lighting is so harsh. You're getting these just like really sharp angles on the face, and you can kind of see it like on her right side, like our left side of her face. Like when the lighting is a little bit different, it just makes some of these angles really harsh. But when you see it under this lighting, it looks better to me. So I don't know. I'm like, it's tricky. I feel like I keep going, back and forth on stuff. But like I said, seeing it like this, if this is what I would be happy with this, if this is what was in front of me, I would be happier with this than, seeing the blogger photos, where I thought too, like, yeah, the prototype versus what the blogger photos were didn't look as good. But then I look at this and I'm like, wow, this looks pretty good. I kind of said before too, like for me, this isn't something that I want to get right away. I still need to get like a Dark Knight Batman.
right.
So I just like, I could see myself getting this figure later on. And then going back to your point of like, is this kind of like, did they cut corners on this as a 2.0? Yeah, I kind of agree with Brick in saying that this is something that came out after this was the longest awaited pre-order figure, right? From like announcement to release.
2 years and 2 months.
You would think when going that long that you would do a little bit more different. Like why on earth did it take that long compared to some of these other figures we're getting in a less amount of time where a lot more work is put in? You know what I mean? But
like,
yeah, I don't know.
I think, like DLO has said, or one of you guys has said, like it just wasn't a priority. Like DC's always kind of just back to the line, and I think there's just other stuff that they wanted to get out, and I think they just I hate saying they didn't care as much, but it's almost like they didn't care as much. It's kind of like not the new hotness. It's just a 2.0 we feel obligated to do, and
and it makes sense too, because we're in a time right now where there's not a lot of stuff really being released as far as shows and like IPs go. We're in like this downtime, right? Because of the writer's strike and all that stuff. So I get that aspect of it too. Like there was a lot of figures that came out in 2023 that were way more like front and center on the mind of people than bringing something back from this movie, right? So I get it why it's releasing later on, with that point too. But yeah, I'm like, it's crazy when I see this. I'm like, dang, this is like it looks pretty good.
right.
So yeah, not something that I'm gonna pick up. Is it something that I might get down the line? Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, my wife said it's her like favorite version of Catwoman, so that could be a potential reason to.
I'm Michelle Pfeiffer, dude.
That's an easy way to buy one. To
get the
Michelle
figure. She's
Pfeiffer all the way,
she
bro.
said, "Don't be harsh on the figure
Pfeiffer
because it's
all
my
the way.
favorite version of Catwoman." But yeah, maybe as I start getting Dark Knight, but I still got to get a Batman, and then I'd probably would get Bane before getting this figure.
I'm with the sneaker. That's exactly
yeah,
what
but
I
as
would
far as and a Bat Pod, like then it's like you're just going down the rabbit hole of the Dark Knight. I feel like at that point, like there's other figures that are a priority for me. Yeah, you basically like this is a figure where I would get the other Dark Knight figures before considering getting.
Well, would you go all in like Gordon, Robin,
I don't think
Alfred,
so.
or just the main,
like some of the older figures that were released? No, probably not. I'd probably just go like I have Inner Joker, and then I'd go Batman, obviously, and then probably Bane and Catwoman in a Bat Pod.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's I would probably do something like that.
DLO, hold your thought. I want to say thank you to Eddie for taking the plunge, being a channel member of the Jedi Knights Watch. Thank you so much, Eddie. Appreciate you. Let's see. I want to catch back up with these comments before we get to DLO. It's hard to choose. I feel like all these elements kind of play in equally for me. Yeah, each step to getting a figure has its own unique magic. Action in the box talking about the biggest thrill of collecting. If the mask can be removed without damaging the face, I would lift it up over her forehead. We got Mama Luigi in the house. Why does she come with broken Batman color? I don't remember her ever holding it, but I could be wrong. That's the weird thing about some of these figures too. Like sometimes they'll throw something in that you can kind of mix and match with another figure. But then other times, if it wasn't movie accurate, you're not getting it. You know, it's like you just never know what they're gonna do. Maybe they also thought like she's not really coming with much. Hey, let's throw in one of these broken bat cowls and try to add a little bit.
She was
of
there during the
value.
scene watching, but she
Right.
didn't hold it.
But Eddie's not a fan. I think the grid on the gate is slightly raised, but yeah, mostly printed. Okay. Hammer God says it's honestly like 1.5. Eddie says it looks rough. We also have Collection Obsession becoming a channel member of the Jedi Knights Watch. Thank you so much for, again, just supporting the channel and helping me to grow and doing what I love to do, and means a lot to me. So thank you guys for all the support, and even just being here and watching is more than enough. So thank you so much. Mike says the best part of collecting is sharing the fun. It's all with the community. I know that sounds super corny. Just imagine not talking to anyone about this hobby. So cool, but probably boring. I agree.
Yep.
If I didn't have anybody to share this with, it would definitely feel not as fun to do, because I don't know, anything that you can share makes just, so much more sense. But yeah, well said. How you figure is agreeing with you. Steve, about your remarks. Mike says that he thinks the likeness is awesome. I think I can pose her like that statue with the bat. Oh man, I looked that up today. Actually, the Queen Studios 1/6 statue of her on the bike, and it's over like $1,000. So I was like, well, it's like maybe I'll just get that and sell my bat pod, but that ain't gonna work. So surely I jest. All right, so let me just see here. DLO, you and I are, out of the four of us, you and I are the, like, DC, almost like Star Wars is always kind of going to be first, but like DC first, kind of. Like, it's important to us. Not that it's not important to these guys, but like it just hits differently for us, I feel like. So what does this figure like mean to you? Are you happy with it? Are you still a little kind of down about how she turned out? I know you're getting her, but just overall, over the past couple days, seeing more and more footage, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I felt like I was on an island on my own when we saw these pictures on Wednesday. I think I was the only one that was like saying like, well, hold on, let's wait on better photos on this, because I don't know, just because I've been getting much more into photography, I'm understanding how some of these types of lighting situations can distort the image and quality of the features of these figures. Sometimes really good, sometimes can be very bad. It really depends on who's taking the photos and what the atmosphere around it's going to be, the background. So when I saw those photos, I was just really looking at it, I was like, all right, well, these are slightly higher colored warm, these are warmer colors, these are cooler lights. And it just like it was very confusing to see like what would stick out as far as like what the actual figure truly looks like under natural like conditions, like the conditions we would put our figures in our cases, under LED lights and stuff like that. And so I just kind of waited. I didn't want to jump the gun on this one because I just felt like there was enough going on in those photos for me to say, you know what, I need better angles, better lights to see this figure. And I'm so glad I waited, because seeing this video over here, a couple of early reviews on it there, I think this is going to be one of those figures where it doesn't hit right away, and there's going to be a lot of like, I don't want to say excuses, but more it feels like down the road, this is going to be looked at much better than it is right now. Right now, it's really 50-50, but I think this is going to be one of those situations where a figure needs to be in your hand to truly understand like how good the potential it really is. I agree a little bit with Hammer a little bit there. It is kind of a 1.5. I'd like to call that like a refresher, if you will, not necessarily a true 2.0, but more like a quality of life kind of like update to it there. Better body proportions. I think the proportions are much better than the original one. I'm hoping the material, to your point, is a lot better than what it was in the original one, because a lot of collectors had issues with theirs. I thankfully, knock on wood, I never did. But obviously, I don't want that to happen if I pick this one up here. And I'm sure nobody wants that either. But as far as the head, that photo that Sneaker shared, I think right there is 100% confirmation that the original opinions on this might have been blown out of proportion, first reaction wise. I think it may not be a 10, but it certainly isn't a 4 or a 5 or something like that there, which is good. Because I mean, if we only bought 10s, we wouldn't have very big collections if we were being honest, right? There's some that we give sort of a collecting pass because we have that much like love for the character and love for, the representation it would bring to the collection, stuff like that. So I think overall, this is going to be a really nice piece. I'm in no rush to get this one here simply because, keeping track of the timetable of when this was announced, this was high production time for Hot Toys. So I expect there to be a lot of these. And since there's a lot of 50-50 opinions about this one here, I see this one sticking around. So I'm definitely going to pick it up because I think it is a great figure, but I'm going to wait on it here just because I have the opportunity to pick it up at a lower price down the road, just because gauging what I'm hearing from the community here, I think not everybody's sold on it as much as I am. So, but I'm very excited about it. I think it did really well considering what I had originally for the 1.0 to now this one. This is definitely coming home, and it's definitely going to be sitting on a bat pod down the road. So believe that for sure.
Is it going to be like straddling or actually sitting? Are you going to put the suit into that
I'm going to go all out, man. I was like, so when I first had my Catwoman, excuse me. I was very like museum pose of her and all that. Is very delicate with her. This one, I mean, it's my second go around. I know how to pose a little bit better than I did back then. I'm so going all in on it there, dude. So it's going to straight up look like the statues that you see out there. Who does it say? Was it Queen Studios that did the statue? Queen Studio
did the 1/3 and the 1/6.
I'm going all in. I don't care. I'm going to push this figure to its limits because I want that pose in my collection.
Sure. And you said too, it's more like a refresher, but you think about 13 years ago, this figure originally came out. That is a long time when it comes to Hot Toys and how far they've come with technology and all that stuff. And you could really see how outdated it was. I own the figure as well. Pleather totally disintegrated. The body was more Barbie-esque. Obviously, the hair still looks a little, poofy or, unnatural. But at the same time, I think this is her hairstyle is the best case scenario, like how it was in the movie. I think that's the easiest to replicate with what they're using here with like the cheaper style hair. And I did see from a video that they did still at least put product in the hair, so it's still going to have a little bit of structure to it. But it also reminds me of when Wonder Woman 84 came out. That was another one that was really a long time sitting in the pre-order stage. And then when everybody saw the blogger photos, they're like, ooh, okay, well, this head sculpt didn't turn out how we thought it would. But when you got it in hand, you're like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. And I see Gal Gadot, and people were happy with it. And I just think it was like an overreaction at first. And I think sometimes we're quick to do that because that's all we have to judge the character on at that moment is the blogger photos. Plus, we've been waiting 1 to 2 years. So, sometimes there is that built up expectation in the figure, and then we can be let down initially. So I think it's always good to just kind of come back to it, relook at it, and see what you think, especially for this case, because this is such a particular figure that is very interesting to me. Something I was I wouldn't say shocked, but surprised to see too is the articulation in the arm. Over 90 degrees of articulation. The suit's going to be more of like that elasticy feel. It might be, I think, thinner as well. So you're going to have more of a range of motion. The bad thing is I do believe the arms are going to have a single joint. Just had a 90 degree there. But plenty of motion though together. But yeah, right there is the single bend in the elbow, which you probably don't want to be bending that pleather all that much anyway. But definitely some good flexibility there. You can kind of see how the suit kind of shifts with the body a little bit, or has that little stretch or give. So I would think that's a good sign. The legs seem like they can pose a lot, and with a figure like this, that's kind of like this female with the long legs and whatnot. I mean, it kind of sounds weird, but you really do need good articulation in the legs to be able to pull off some of these poses that she was kind of in during the movie. So I think people will be happy with that. But yeah, it's just like where that's all bunching there too. I worry about that over time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, does that bother you or worry you?
It worries me. It worries me over time. So, but I do see Anne Hathaway. And I do like this figure. So I'm warming up to it. I know how your figure is going to be happy to hear that. Here you guys can kind of see her on the bat pod as well. If I can stop this before it.
Do you think they make like some of this? It looks like they intentionally make some of this material loose because they know like how people are going to pose it too, right? You don't want it to just like be really skin tight and then just stretch, right? Especially like on these boots.
Right.
Like you want
But
the
look
suit
at-
to have given.
It's
some
like
places.
Padme in the hips.
Yeah.
You know.
But look
I mean,
at
like
all
that's
this
bunched.
wrinkling
That's pretty
here.
bunched up. Is there anything like? I guess like my question would be too is, like, is there anything you guys would like to see like better about? Like, what would you like to see better for this? Like, I know we always sounds like we're kind of all in agreement of, like, this isn't necessarily like a fully fledged 2.0. Like, what would put it over? I guess for you guys to make it seem like this is better than what we're getting, even though considering like you guys like the figure.
It's a good question. I think the only thing it's weird. I think the likeness here looks good, but it's also not amazing. Like, I'm okay with it. It's hard to pinpoint what's wrong with it. I can just say I can tell it's not 100%. We're kind of get to that with like Han Solo too, where it's like it's good, but something's off. A little bit with this. I mean, would artisan hair have been better? Maybe, but again, her hairstyle in the movie kind of fits just using this cheap stuff just straight down, and it's braced in with the mask. So I don't know. Like, if I get this in hand, I might be totally happy with it. I don't know. What do you guys think? It might just be the likeness for me because I think the proportions look great.
Go ahead, Dilo.
I would agree. I would say probably the likeness. Like, I guess like that's kind of the question I asked myself too, like critiquing figures, and we're saying like, yeah, this isn't like a full blown, could they have done more like as a 2.0? But I guess like that's just kind of like a question like I wanted to pose, because then you're trying to think about like, well, what could they have done, you know, better? But yeah, I think the likeness could be a little bit better. And then also,
Best eye profile.
I guess like I'm just curious, I guess, what this type of like what exactly the suit is going, like the longevity of the suit.
Right.
I guess is my next.
D Knight thought it might
big
be
thing.
like more of a, and obviously he's just guessing because he doesn't have it in hand, but he thought it might be more like a Spider-Man style of suit.
This pose is awesome, by the way. I think we talked about that on Wednesday, but
Mhm.
this just looks awesome, like next to the bat pod. Yeah. But I kind of, that's like kind of what made me think of, like, it's like we're critiquing this figure, but then I'm like, well, what would we really change? I feel like it's kind of, there's not too many things I feel like that come to my mind at the same time. You know what
Yeah,
I
I mean, I kind of agree, just because I mean, it's not like, you know, kind of what you guys are saying. Like, it's not like you can just go the artisan route with this here. I mean, it sounds like
yeah, it doesn't make
an
sense.
easy, it sounds like an easy answer on paper, but realistically, like kind of to Graham's point, like this hair does kind of make sense for her simply because, you know, it is a hairstyle she has, and quite honestly, it does look actually quite accurate to where how her hair looks, like
Right.
if you were to make it in figure form. So, I mean, unless you go far to the point of where you're doing a fully brand new body for this specific figure, the suit made out of premium like materials like leathers instead of these, you know, possible peeling type pleathers that Hot Toys tends to use here, I don't really see how much better someone can make this figure out it is right now. Maybe, in my opinion, maybe the head sculpt might be a little too wide. If I'm really, really nitpicking,
Yeah, I see that.
because she has a little bit more of a more narrower face, at least to my eye. Like, you know, Brick can probably talk. He just recently saw the movie again too. I think that would probably be it. But I mean, other than that, I mean, we're talking about Catwoman. We're not talking about Batman. If we were talking about Batman, I'd probably have a lot more notes because it's the Batman. But for a Catwoman who's gonna maybe be on my bat pod or in the background at a discount, I think she's perfectly acceptable the way she is, in my opinion.
Well, and Anne Hathaway has a very distinct yet attractive look to her. You know, her eyes are very different. You know, and I think it's just hard to maybe capture that. But I don't know. Some people think the 1.0 had a better sculpt. So it's tough to say, man. It's tough to say. You guys got any other thoughts?
I just want to mention one more thing too about like the hair. I guess this kind of shows too, like the challenge probably Hot Toys faces about rooting hair with like the actual artisan quality, like wool implanted hair, because on this level, like it's a lot easier to mass produce, right? And then there's like some give and take there. Like, would you guys be willing to pay? I guess another thing is like, would you guys be willing to pay more money if this was like an artisan level hair when it's just like straight down like this? Like,
To be honest, it's already top of the line for me at 290. Like, that's a lot.
I probably wouldn't want to pay more like for just straight down hair. Like this is probably.
I wouldn't want to pay for. I wouldn't want to pay artisan money for Catwoman, but that's just me personally.
That's another good point too. Like her as a character, but
we got Christian Cooper in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. How you figure is picking up the Bat Pod soon because of his figure. Haha. Where are you buying the Catwoman from? Did you pre-order from Sideshow, or are you getting it sooner from somewhere else? Let us know. Eddie says the hair does not do it for me. See, at this photo, though, I think this looks really good. Maybe a little poofy on the back end, but yeah, it's...
You can also fix that. Like, you could just get, like, some whatever that water wax is or whatever it is, like a water-based hair wax that people use for dolls. Like, you could easily fix this hair because it's a cheaper, like, whatever synthetic doll-type hair. Like, if you just put a little bit of whatever water wax or whatever it's called. I forget exactly what it's called, but you can get that stuff for cheap. And you could, if this hair got messed up, you could also just easily fix it. I know not everybody likes fussing with the hair, but something that you could easily fix. Like I know DLO, you've done it with a couple of your figures where you put
times,
this would be something you could easily fix if the hair was, ended up getting
tiny bit of water, a little bit of pomade. That's it. Maybe
there you go.
Maybe a palmful at most, kind of to dampen up a little bit, and you're ready to rock and roll. It's not that serious a deal here.
X-Man says, I don't know. Dean always seems a bit aggressive, critical of figures. I think his take on this particular one was a bit overblown. The dude is such a Batman fan, though, and especially of that trilogy. And I don't know, I just, aggressive or not, I just always appreciate his thoughts. Like, he is I don't know, I feel like when I watch Dean, I'm just getting his heart and soul poured into what he's talking about, and it's totally unscripted, and it's just, these are my thoughts. So, I don't know. I just appreciate everything that he says, and I take it to heart too. And he's been in the game for so long that I guess I just respect, his opinion on it too. But I get what you're saying too. It can seem
it's a double down though. I think if there's anybody I don't think there's anybody in this hobby that does more research on these things before he puts out a video. It's D Knight, because I've learned things about movies that I love and I thought I knew everything about, but Dean will take the next level where he'll get the art books and he'll do this, and he'll like freeze frame like live shots in the movie just to point out what he's talking about, so you, the viewer, so I agree with you, Graham. I mean, it may be a very strong stance and stuff like that, but I tend to give him the benefit of doubt just because I know he's not talking from a place of just like out of what he's done the research and he probably knows more about it than I do when I'm watching it. So
right, he had a great quote too. He's like, something about like never trust Hot Toys to do the right thing. Almost like you can't understand what they're thinking or what they're gonna do, so just don't expect them to like do the right thing by you. Like because they're just gonna do their own thing. And I'm like, it's pretty accurate.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
it's not wrong.
We got Brandon Mosley in the house. What up, my friend? Thank you for being here. Also, good old Spotchka stopping in to say hello. Too sweet to you, my friend. Thank you for being here as well. The Catwoman poll, pass or fail? Yeah, what do you think? Is this a pass for you, or is this a total failure of a figure? Not necessarily are you going to buy it or not, but do you think this passes your standard, or is it a complete fail?
Passes mine.
I think the hair is perfectly fine. Hairstyle doesn't require anything special. Yeah. Can someone send me the link to rejoin the Wolfpack? I think I got it all the way at the top. If you scroll all the way up to the top of the chat, Spotchka, you can find it there, buddy. Got Nick Collectibles in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Do you guys understand the poll? I guess there's some confusion on what I mean. So the Catwoman, do you think this is a pass of a figure or a fail? Like not buy or pass, not buy or pass, but like passing grade or failing grade.
Yeah, I figured that too. I said pass.
All right, picking it up from Sideshow because I had rewards. Very good, very good. We got 1-6 shooter in the house. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hairline is correct. Actually looks good. synthetic hair. Yeah, I agree with that.
What's wrong with my damn camera?
Uh-oh.
I would
Jazzy
say anytime that there are more disappointments in the community about a figure than compliments on a figure, I would consider that a fail. So, me personally, I think she's good enough for a pass, but when you have it in the community and people are kind of complaining about it, I would say fail.
The only thing I would say is I guess a rebuttal. Was she really that hyped up? I know like some of the diehards were like, where's Catwoman? But was she really even like one of the most anticipated figures? I don't feel like she was.
I don't
You know what
think
I mean?
so. Right.
No.
So
The announcements
That's
first
kind
are
of
not to jump in here, but I mean the announcements of the Dark Knight entirely, from Batman all the
I
way
feel
to
like they've been
Catwoman.
in the shadows.
But the thing was, like, people need to remember when these were announced, this was during COVID, when Hot Toys was like in serious financial troubles, and like they were just banging out 2.0s, reissues of constant banger figures where they just needed to keep funding going here, just because they had to shut down factories nonstop. I mean, there was a lot of like political stuff that had to go on. I mean, they had to make business decisions, so they just happened to like say we have to go back to Dark Knight because we need the money. So, I mean, at this point here, I mean, we're now in 2024. This figure's like almost 3 years old since its announcement, practically. I mean, you're getting the end stick of what was left over during that time frame here. When we were all buying like crazy, selling like crazy, and all this crazy stuff was happening with the hobby. But I mean, I get it. I mean, right now if you're looking at your pre-order list and you figure out how Catwoman fits into that, probably not that high. But, this is going to be one of those figures that, the person who picks it up, I think they're going to be happy with it. I think this isn't going to be one of those figures where people are going to be regretful they pick it up. And I think it's going to be a figure that everybody picks up at a discount. And I think that's a win for us. So it is what it is.
Very good. I don't know what's going on lately, but Wednesday and today, my poll isn't showing up. It's delayed. It was like 88% said this was a pass, though. So, yeah, I think initially I was already, obviously on the fence about it because I wasn't sure. There's a lot of questions, but I think I've come around to being happy with this. Yeah, 89% said pass, 10% said fail. So we'll just have to wait and see till I get it in hand. I do want to get it actually sooner than later. I don't know if I'm going to need a discount or not. I just know I don't want to pay over retail. So because I'm interested in reviewing it and just kind of getting that representation back on the shelf. So we'll see. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But at the same time, it's got to make sense. So cool. Any final thoughts on this before we move on to Star Wars? Then without further ado, I give you DLO The Collector Andor Han from Return of the Jedi. This is the Han Solo that we've all been anxiously awaiting for and hoping for. And Hot Toys said, no, we won't give this to you as a 40th anniversary. We're just going to drop it as a Star Wars figure. So here it is. It is Han Solo Andor version. Comes with the cool coat and that interesting head sculpt that's garnered a lot of attention over the last couple days, and I think rightfully so. I want to start with DLO on this because I know that you love it and you're happy with it. So just indulge us for a minute and let us know what you love about it.
Yeah, well, first off, when I saw this in the morning after a great episode of Wolfpack Wednesday, I was like, WTF, what the hell? But after that, man, I could have shed a man tear. I was so happy. couldn't believe it. Another Han Solo felt like an impossible thing. It felt like it would never happen. Like at first we're like, oh, it's definitely from beginning of my career in collecting here. At first it was like, oh, it'll come. Everybody said it'll come. Then it was just like, well, I don't know if it's gonna come, guys. And then it was like, yeah, it'll never come. And then one random freaking day, they said, yeah, here, sure, have it. Are you fucking with me? Excuse my French, but are
That
you
is what she said. That whole entire thing you just stated.
nice?
All right, guys. Before we go any further,
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
you can't say you haven't been warned. Continue.
Sorry, yes. But what a big dub for collectors. What a big dub for Star Wars collectors. What a big dub for Harrison Ford like fans. Like this right here, this is probably the best drop I can think of in better part of the last 3 to 4 years, at least.
Wow.
I think it honestly is. Now,
A hot take.
Damn.
but is it though? It's Han Solo though. I mean, I don't feel like. I mean, this is like the grail of grails to some collectors. Some collectors have paid triple retail on eBay, and
A New Hope is going down in
Aftermarket.
price, I've noticed.
what's that?
A New Hope version is going down in price, I've noticed.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's panic in the market. That's how these things typically. I don't think you should do that, quite frankly.
Right.
But to each your own. But the bottom line is, this is the most desirable character in all of Star Wars, original trilogy or not. This is the #1 figure of the year. If this is the last thing we get, because quite frankly, to have a Han Solo, a new Han Solo after nearly 10 years, it's like, I mean, I'm going to fanboy tonight. It's absolutely amazing to have this now. Now, having said all that, take a deep breath. Apparently not everybody agrees with me. And I get that's the natural reaction to things when, you know, we see things, we have initial reactions like, wait, what about this? What about that? Now I'm hearing a lot about this hair. Okay. Can someone explain to me what they think is wrong with Han Solo before I start talking about it? Because I am curious to know what's everybody's frustration with the hair of good old Harrison Ford in his mid-30s.
Too thick, too poofy, too
Looks
tall.
like a helmet. It's too perfect.
It's like that picture I sent you, the wedding singer guy.
It looks like somebody put a hairpiece
Worse.
on him and it's
No,
not all
no.
the way on. It's not like snapped on all the way.
Brick,
Yeah.
was
Okay.
that you that said Lego hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lego hair.
It
Okay.
just doesn't look like it's all the way on. It looks like somebody put a hairpiece on. There's a space. It's too thick. It looks like a helmet.
I think a lot of people are
It's-
saying it's too the general consensus. I think it's like people are saying it's too puffy. Just in
Too
general,
puffy.
it's too
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
It doesn't match his hair. It's just way too much.
And I know
volume
it's
there.
hard to do with sculpted, but his hair wasn't just completely, it was down
Right.
and kind
That's
of
what I'm saying. Yeah. It was
in his
it's too
forehead
perfect.
a little bit. I don't know. It's tough to do, but I hope they are able to tweak this just a little bit.
This looks
What do you
good
think
in
of the
this picture.
expression, D'Lo? It's just the
Looks good
facial
in this
expression.
picture.
You know what? Honestly, the expression is very good. And I feel like with it being now with the purge system on here, I think it really, really helps a lot. I've been looking at a lot of reference photos for Harrison Ford. And that's the other thing too, guys. Like I hope people when they're coming up with these comments and saying this, that, and up, I hope you guys are doing at least a little simple Google search and just kind of seeing how it looks compared to that there. So I think it looks really good. I will say this though, I think he still looks, despite the like the frowns on the forehead, I still feel like he looks maybe a little bit younger. And I like him because I mean the age between New Hope to Return of the Jedi, he looks vastly older in part 3. So, or technically part 6, however you want to look at it. But I mean, other than that, again, I'm really grasping straws. Now I agree with you guys a little bit on the hair. Harrison Ford has a little bit more of a thinner style hair and there's a lot more volume to it. But when you're sculpting, it's a lot harder to necessarily like show that there because it's just a hard piece of plastic. It's really hard to mold that into a look like that. Especially, I don't know how they're going to do the purge on this, whether it's going to be detachable hair or not. Nothing confirmed yet. Rick, I think you mentioned that it doesn't feel like it sits flush on up there, so
Sure.
maybe you're
Yep.
right onto something with that there. But I think what would help, because you really can't do much about that, unfortunately. I think what will help is if you messy up the hair a little bit more, which is actually, I think, would be a great compromise. Because if you can have some of the hair flow in the front of his face a little bit more, it'll nail more of that look that he has while he's actually in action on Endor. And I think it'll be more aesthetically more like realistic to what the time frame was of when this figure is supposed to be taking place at, that it would actually help collectors feel a bit better about it. But I mean, if we take the hair aside for a second, like what does everybody think about just the head sculpt? I mean, So you guys can kind of jump in here.
I think it's good, but I'll let you guys talk to it a little bit.
Think about the head sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, DLO, dang, I agree with a lot of the stuff you said, actually. Yeah, yeah. Just stirring the pot, just stirring the pot.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think the hair, like, I think the sculpt is excellent. I think this is on point. I think it looks really, really good. I think the wrinkles are probably going to soften up when they have the final figure anyways. Like, even if they don't revise it when they mass produce this thing, the wrinkles are going to soften up in the face. It's not going to be this.
Will we still see the scar and the
I think so.
mole on there?
They're pretty good about that. They're pretty good. I feel like about keeping scars and
that one on there. So
I feel like they're pretty good about that. As far as the hair goes, yeah, I think maybe the hair could be messier. Like you said, I think it's a little bit like too neat. I think maybe if they took a little bit of the volume away from the lower part, maybe.
I was again like, that actually instead of the top, I think it's really just the sides.
I think it's more just like because if you look at like Graham, go back to that picture where he's holding like the gun with his other hand out. Because if you look at the like his left, so our right, the hair looks really good on that side when that kind of lower part you don't see kind of like that poofiness a little bit. So I feel like this picture looks really good as far as like I think the hair looks pretty good. So I think if they maybe took a little bit of the volume away from the bottom or just made it so it looks a little messier in general, because if you look at his photos in Return of the Jedi, there are so many scenes where he has just like this really high volume puffy hair and it's all over the place, and I feel like I think that's probably something that's really difficult to sculpt to make it look like it's got volume, but it's not too thick. I think like that's part of the issue there. That's kind of my thoughts about the hair. I think they're trying their best to capture like that look of it.
So that's what it reminded me of.
I just don't think it's that bad. But yeah,
what
or like
at least at first, just because it was just so rounded. But it's the sides. Like if the sides are cut in a little bit more, I think it's like, better.
Where do I see him from? He's in like all the mob movies, isn't he?
This hair has like no waviness or anything.
Gross, by the way, what the hell is that? Jeez, get out of here. All right.
So I think yeah, maybe like maybe some minor tweaks or just change it to make it look a little bit more to match the character. But I don't know. I'm not as
Shooter thinks it needs to be just messier.
He's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like if they can just. I think if they can take the volume, because he has a lot of volume in the movie. If you guys go look at the photos of him in the movie, it has a lot of volume in various scenes throughout the movie. His hair is just like really messy. So I think that's a really good way to put it, like 1/6 Shooter said, of if they can get the messiness down a little bit more and not make it look like it's so kind of like condensed volume, if that makes sense. I feel like that would be a good change. Like even in this photo, I don't think it's really like all that puffy on some of the sides when you look at some of these photos. Even if you go to like the ones that are at I forget, is it like secret base photos or whatever, the ones that are on display like already in Hong Kong, it looks different than like these photos already if you look at like the one that's actually on display. So
can anybody pinpoint where his hair was like this in the movie? I know where, but does anybody else know?
There's a couple different spots. Like I was looking through photos, like there's a couple other, like there's a few. Are you looking for like a specific scene?
No. I'm just curious if you guys, because I mean, it is accurate to a scene. It's just not kind of like what you and I have been saying, Sneaker. It's just not how his hair looked for the majority of the film because he was constantly in action there. This reminds me more specifically.
Was it when they were planning going to Endor on the ship?
Yes, exactly. That's where this is actually from there. So again, it's accurate, but you know what? I think this is an opportunity for Hot Toys to do something for us to make it really just a special character, because in fairness, it doesn't come with a lot, right? It's Han Solo. There's not a lot of accessories you're going to get with a Han Solo figure. Why don't you go the DX2425 route and give two styles of hair, more of a clean look and also a messier look? That way you have a kind of a way to show it for each collector's opinion and preference there. So we're really, there you go.
Go to the left. Go to the one where he's holding the blaster right there on the left. No, over to the left again.
Just looks like his hair curls around underneath his ear a little bit more too.
Look how puffy his hair is in this photo. That is a lot of volume. There is a lot of volume in his hair. But I think what's throwing people off is because it's sculpted, it looks like it's really condensed in that area. But yeah, it does have it's more messy here too. But look at the volume on this. If you look at like the photos compared to how much volume is here, it doesn't really look like it's too big. I think it's just like the texturing of it just doesn't quite match up as far as like 1/6 shooter said. I agree. I think messier is the route that they need to go if you want to capture this.
Like the one in the
this
bottom right hand
particular
corner, I
look.
think that's the compromise right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Or
make
right
it a little
corner
bit
there.
messier in the front. Don't make it so slicked back where it's all just like
Right.
really clean, slicked back, sculpted. They need to just messy it up a little bit, and I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
You guys good with the coat, or do you think the coat's too light? I mean, this could just be contrast. Somebody edited this photo,
Yeah,
but
it looks edited.
Yeah, I think the coat's fine.
you know,
Yeah.
you look.
The coat is that light. It's accurate. I mean, should I just kind of show mine? Just because I brought mine
Yeah,
out
grab
there for reference here. So like for us people who've been collecting for a long time and waiting the longest for this, some of us got bored and we did it ourselves. So I made my own a few years ago. This is my kit bash of a Han Solo. Not bad. Still holds up pretty
bad.
good. Kit bashing is not for everybody. It can be very expensive. But here's the one thing that honestly, out of all the things that bothered me specifically about the Han Solo that we're getting, is this right here, the shirt. The shirt is inaccurate. If you go to the Han Solo in the photos there, he's wearing his more Bestman style shirt on there. Whereas when he was on Andor, he had more of a brownish color like this one over here. This is actually a kit bash between a couple of things from, this is from Hot Toys, repainted. The shirt itself is actually from Medicom, and so is the jacket itself. So Medicom actually got it right nearly 10 years ago. This is the correct style of shirt that Han Solo's supposed to have on Endor. And the color here, it's a little washed out from years and years here, but it was extremely light. Let me get it a little closer so you guys can see maybe a little bit better, a little bit more of me there.
That looks pretty good, actually. Still,
Nice.
even compared to this new one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But all in all, though, like this is how he should look by the end of all this here. Just lighter duster over here. This needs to be beige. This shirt unapologetically is wrong. It has to be corrected for sure. But everything else there, I mean, this is pretty much exactly.
Something I'm seeing on that
I should
sculpt
look.
that maybe we aren't seeing on this one is the part in the middle seems to have more of a, is indent the right word? Like it
Yeah.
goes down more, whereas in this
Right down the middle here, right? This
Like,
kind
but
of
You can see the split and then the lift of the hair on each side.
right, the split is more
Pronounced.
It's like part and
pronounced,
C.
where like if we go not to that one, I don't know, it's just, it seems like it's just too, it's not like it's, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like it's just, it just goes straight over.
yeah.
Whereas his figure, the part, I don't know, there's just more of like a, I can't explain it, but somebody
Look
help.
at the shirt though. What I was talking about before. It's white.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the collar from Bestman Han instead. So I'm curious to where they got that idea because there you go. And go back to the images on Google if you can for a second. They're all like that tan, beige, brown. And go up a little bit.
This is A New Hope.
It's New Hope.
Look at the one like with him hanging from the stick. That's kind of small, but you get my point. Yeah, I see what you're saying, DLO. Like it needs to be a little bit more like a worn color, right? Rather than it just
Yeah.
Hanging.
This
Well,
is
if you
just a
see the
little
one
bit
within the
too-
duster
Sure,
room,
this is a little bit too bright.
it's white basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should definitely be a beige, tan, brownish.
Brick, what do you think of this base? I personally like it, but at the same time, there's not a big footprint for him to stand on.
Yeah, that worries me a little bit too. I think it's definitely different. I like that how they did that, but and they have a little bit of detail. Like I like how Hot Toys is actually making more of that diorama looking base more often, but it just seems really small. And I'd worry about certain poses not being able to fit him on there. You could do like the step pose where like 1 foot's up, you
I
know,
hate being
and do
forced
something like
into
that.
that, though. You know, I don't want to be forced
Yeah.
to a step pose. Kind of like Sneaker was talking about with his Iron Man. If you can't get 2 feet down,
Yeah.
You can. You're just so limited in, like what Brick said, you're just limited in the poses that you can do, and you have to have their stance so narrowed.
Right.
But Brick, outside of the base too, I mean, what are your thoughts? I know you kind of I think Kind
You know,
goes with the hair
I was worried about the wrinkles as well, but then I think it was Steve. Well, Steve said it earlier, but I think he said it in a private chat as well. But Shane from Six Figure Focus mentioned it this morning as well when I was on Visions. That when they do release this figure, it's not going to be so pronounced like the pictures, and it's going to soften up a little bit. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, and I think the figure looks amazing other than the hair. I mean, the tailoring, I like the base. I guess you're right, though. It could be a little bigger, like we just talked about. But I really want to get this figure. I'm excited for this one. I don't have a Han. You know, I just did that top grails that I want, you know, and the disguised Han is on there. So I don't even have a Han. So this would be perfect.
That was my next question. With this now dropping, would you still want to focus on Stormtrooper Han? Or being the fact that you can secure this one for a cheaper price, would you now just go to this one?
It's a great question. And I think in the short term, I would just go to this one. And pick this up because there's other grails that I want, right? So if I can get this for a decent price and then go get the T800 or, you know, Ghost Rider or something, then I'd be A-okay with that. Man, this is scary though, because it does make me want to do. If I get this figure, I'm gonna want to buy more and more of the OT.
That's a good thing.
Yes,
you know, and
come on now.
But it's scary though, you know. And I'm not the biggest fan of A New Hope, but you know, episodes 5 and 6 are just 10 out of 10s. Like I absolutely love those movies, and this is a dark hole to go in for sure.
She said,
yes.
Really quickly before I get to the hands of this figure, I want to just check in with the chat here. Shooter says, I would absolutely pay for an artisan version of this.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got that 80s hair look. From different angles, it looks better than others, but also hair is so malleable that doesn't really matter all that much. A little bit. We got Ben Thomas show in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you staying up late with us. Brandon says, I hate the base. It reminds me of a 1/4 Dark Knight base that has the leg kind of funky because of the stuff on it. Yeah, like I like the fact that they're doing the circular bases, and I love the touch of Endor in it. But I do think it needs to be a little bit bigger so he does have a footprint to stand on without being forced to, like, put the leg up or anything. Or, you know, even if I wouldn't even say you're getting him into a dynamic pose, but if you're getting him into a little bit of an action pose, his feet are like halfway off the damn thing. So that bothers me a little bit too.
Can I say something else about the base? Does it look a little tall? Or
it's kind of the style they're going with a little bit with these newer ones, like the Batman ones, the Flash ones. The rounded bases are a little taller.
It just bothers me because it doesn't fit everything, and then you got to get these bases so that they match everything, and that bothers me.
It doesn't match any of your other Endor bases if you have Leia Wicket or
exactly.
But I think like somebody, I forget who brought up the point too, is like, did they maybe make this so that you can stack it behind? I don't know if one of you guys said this already, but if you could, like, when you're layering it in your cabinet or whatever, like you're having that stand up a little bit higher, so it's almost like acting like a riser with your other figures.
A natural riser.
Yeah, like a natural riser that you're using for your display as well, rather than putting it right next to something else.
I would have preferred like a modular base to where you could take like the Endor, Leia, and Wicket with their two bases, because they have some really cool extra pieces that already give that Endor Force vibe to them there, where if you were able to connect these a la kind of a Power Ranger S thing, if you will, just have them all connected there to just make your own version of a diorama just with those bases. I think that would have been a cooler option. Base is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But man, I just feel like that was such a blown opportunity, because that would have been a nice treat for collectors who already have those figures.
I have a suggestion too. Do you think it would be kind of cool to be able to kind of take the top of that base off, kind of like a coaster, and then have like a thin base for him to stand on if you wanted to?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, if that was
you're saying like just put like
if it was like a
diorama base.
No, like you take the top off of this, like that
Yeah, I know what you're
Little
saying. And
cylinder.
then you put
Okay,
something
okay.
flat. I like that
Yeah,
idea too.
yeah,
Like make it modular, like and like that's kind of like making it modular. If you could take that top piece off and then also like maybe you set it next to another, like set it next to the figure, and like your other figures in Endor can use that like it's a ground piece. Like it's almost, you just like make it into your own mini diorama. I
Yeah.
like that idea. I wish they would do like, kind of reminds me like the Cobb Vanth base where you can just adjust the, you can slide that piece forward and backward. It's just like add a little bit of, just like make it modular and make it so you can tweak it a little bit. I think they definitely need to do more of those.
Which base do you prefer? The screen printed? I mean, you get the pieces on the corners, but the printed base, the rectangular, or this? What do you guys like better? Just without obviously having it in hand. I think I prefer this.
I prefer the rectangle just because I don't like the fact that there's spaces there that I can't use on that already small base as it is.
Right.
Like that's the only thing that bothers me here, because if, like you kind of said to your own point, if you were to put in some form of a basic action pose here, there's not a lot of real estate for you to do. Kind of like, shout out to EvilSneaker. Definitely take a look at his video, his Iron Man 3 review. He was talking about the very same thing about the Iron Man base. Beautiful base, but there's not a lot of real estate to actually put Iron Man on there. So I love the idea and thought process behind it, but I think we need to be just a little bit more conscious, maybe give it a little bit more space to let the figure actually stand properly as well as just looking pretty, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. Let me let me say hi to a couple people here. We got Wayne Timothy in the house. Love this figure, and what I love even more is that my hopes of getting a Bespin Han have been restored. I mean, you'd think easy science or easy math says like, yeah, let's just do Bespin now too, at least in the near future, but we'll see. We got Yomo in the house. Thank you for being here, my friend. We also have TX Boy 210. Not big into OT myself, but this piece even got me to pull the trigger. Curious what else Hot Toys they'll release this time. And Single Songwriter says, I think Han would look great with Leia and Wicket and Droot base, so they all kind of fit together height-wise. Yeah. So one thing I want to point out, let me just make sure this anybody. One thing I want to make sure. So take a look at this. Okay, you can see he is standing. And then if we go and look here, see how there's extra pieces. So it looks like you can put pieces on, take pieces off, at least some, maybe not all. But you got this log here and the rock there. Let's just go back. Rock is
hold on.
That looks like
I
that
see,
log
I
is
see.
gone.
I couldn't tell if it was just rotated. Well,
Yeah.
Can you go back one more time?
Right.
No, the log is definitely gone. You're right, because the nameplate. I was looking at the location of the nameplate. I couldn't tell if they just like rotated it, but yeah, that's like interesting. I didn't catch that.
The next thing I want to talk about is these newly sculpted hands with natural details. Sneaker, I know you brought this up that you like this idea, but in some of these photos, I'm wondering, do the hands look natural or do they look like old, like too veiny and wrinkled? You know, what do you think?
I don't know. No, I like the idea. I like the idea of them making it look more natural. Again, I think some of this is it might just be just like how this photo is lit too. But no, I would rather have this than just like, it's about time they change up the hands instead of giving us just these plastic generic hands for everybody. Give it some actual like realism there. I think that's a welcome addition, especially when you see like what InArt is doing with like the hands and like it just adds more realism. I think it's definitely, and if you look at, I think another thing is, I know like one thing is the look, but if you look at how they're posed too, so like if you go back to that picture with all the hands laid out, like the different positions, or I guess like the different, like the posability of the hands, I guess, if you will, like these just look a lot more natural in general with the way that the fingers are bent and just like how you get all these different like poses for the hands. I feel like this looks a lot more natural versus, some of these other ones. So I think this is nice that they're actually doing like a sculpted hand versus them just doing the same old thing that they've been doing. I think anytime you add in a little bit of realism, that's a nice touch for sure.
DLO, how about you? Does my mic still sound bad to everybody?
No, it's better.
Going in and out
So-
a little bit.
No.
Sound good now.
Okay, must have just been some sort of interference. But DLO, what are your thoughts on these hands? Big
Yeah,
deal? Not a big deal?
I think it's a win. I think it's a total win. I've been such an advocate for years, and just as far as figures concerned, like figures need to come with more hand options. I just think that that's always been kind of my pet peeve with most. I mean, because essentially most of your male hands, they're essentially all the same, just painted whatever color your character is. Quite frankly, you got your standard fist, you have your relaxed hand, you have your trigger hand, and maybe a specific one for that character. But that's about it at most. Everything else is pretty much reused there. I like this here. I like this here because a lot of posing can be done simply with just the gesture of hands in a lot of ways here. So for me, really getting more into photography, I like having more options on how I can pose my figures here, and also how I can display my figures as well in the future. So I think this is a step in the right direction. I don't think these look particularly good, though. I'm going to say that these look, from the promo photos, I'm sure it's going to get better, so I'm not going to stay here and raise the flag, but they're very waxy. They're very waxy. They look very cheap to me there. I think one more run in the paint shop and it'll look a lot better, but I like where we're headed with this here. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Brick, what do you think? Big deal?
No,
not a
I
big deal?
think I'm with D'Lo on this one. I think they are definitely heading in the right direction. Could be a little better, but I love all the detail. It might look a little old for his age, what he is in this movie. But man, you got to have more detail in the hands. That's so important when that's part of your your display, part of your photo that you're taking. Those hands really downgrade the photo when they look like little kid hands or something, because it's just so smooth. Now we got some texture, so I'm with D'Lo. We're heading in the right direction here.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely giving you a ton of hands, which is nice. I mean, some of these figures, like lately, it feels like they've cheapened out on where they don't even match. Like you don't even get two fisted hands or two resting hands or whatever the case may be. Like
It's crazy.
two pistol holding hands. Like, come on. Like, there's a couple figures I was just messing with the other day.
Sorry, real quick. Grand Inquisitor, how many hands was it? Was like 3 or 4? Something like ridiculous, right?
It's not a lot. Yeah.
Not a
I
lot,
don't know
right?
exactly, but it's like, yeah, it's not that hard to include extra
Right.
hands.
Yeah,
This
like
is not difficult to do.
the
Why
Buzz
are we getting
Lightyear
skimped
even-
out on hands of all things.
The Buzz Lightyear, even, you can't hold the gun and his saber at the same time. You can only do one or the other. It's like, why
Oh,
can't
that's
I
whack,
do
dude.
it at the same time?
Yeah.
That's like the other one that Graham brought up is like when they only have one pistol holding hand, that drives me nuts, man.
Yeah.
How do you not
Seriously.
just do a left and a right like gun holding hand?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
Price on this is $290. It seems a little steep, but then when you compare it to like that's what Catwoman is too, then it seems a little bit more okay. I'm okay with that, but you guys okay with the price point on this? Kind of accepted it.
Yeah. I mean, Anakin's what, 275, right? Something like that. From Attack of the Clones.
Oh, look at that,
So,
Lando.
I mean,
right
and
next
I
to
think
Should be the
this,
same price as Lando.
Look at that heat.
240.
It'd be nice.
Look at that heat.
Can't argue.
but no, I think this comes with a lot, and I think it deserves to be that 290. He looks great.
I mean, you're basically getting an updated head sculpt. You get the SIRS system. You're getting a bunch of these newly updated hands. You get the diorama base.
Yeah.
They say 2 looks. I mean, honestly,
Jack
like
it off.
I think getting 2 figures for this, unless you're like super diehard, is a little overkill. Like, just take the coat off and put the coat on and switch it up every once in a while. Like, but that's just me. But yeah, it looks like January to June 2025, which seems
That's
a long ways
wonderful.
away. But we are already in 2024, so
We're in
hopefully this
February.
thing
11 months maybe.
yeah, hopefully this thing doesn't get delayed and they can push this out and
It will.
it
But-
will get delayed.
these windows are soon going to be like January 2025 to December 2025 is what they're going to start doing to us. It just keeps getting larger and larger.
So here's a question I want to pose here, because this one is personal to me here. Should collectors pre-order this figure, including me? Should I finally pre-order a figure?
I think so. I think if you know that you've been waiting so long for this figure, this is my mindset, right? If I've been waiting so long for this figure and he's important to me, I need to secure him. I need to just have that peace of mind that I'm not missing out, or I'm not going to pay over retail for him. And the reason why I say that is because we are seeing so many things lately with these smaller batches and whatnot that are going before they're even close to being released. And then it, like the Batman, for example, if you're paying over retail, you can get it, which is fine, but you're going to pay for it. So if you don't want to like pay over, then maybe you don't have to pre-order. But like for me, I'll pre-order as like a safe spot. Like, it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get it from Sideshow or Underground or wherever, but at least I know then that I have that fallback if I need to get it somewhere else. So I don't know. That's just my viewpoint on it. Is if I know for sure I just need to secure it, like 89 Batman or Obi-Wan Darth Vader, I'll pre-order it and just make sure that it's secure. I only have like 8 or 9 pre-orders, so I don't do it like a whole ton. It's just those figures that I just don't want to risk. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, the good thing is they usually tell you when they're getting low on stock. So if you're unsure whether to pre-order it now or not, you will then, once it says low on stock, that's when you know, okay, shit, I got to do it. But I'm looking at Return of the Jedi, Vader, Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones. Those are all waitlisted. That's just talking Star Wars. So I would assume this would go waitlist. It's Han Solo. It's not Sabine. Nothing against her, but it's not. It's Han's freaking Solo, and we've been waiting so long. So could Sideshow have ordered more Hot Toys, distributing more? Who knows? But I would assume it's going to be waitlisted soon. But you have time to think about it, because they'll let you know ahead of time.
I think, if you want my opinion, D-Lo,
I do.
I'll
Actually,
speak to it too.
I've been waiting.
I think it's interesting because I think this is going to be, they're probably going to produce a lot of these. I think so I was looking at this. I forget if it was yesterday or Thursday. I was on the Sideshow page. Every once in a while, when you're looking at the page, it'll say like how many people are viewing the item. It was like 7,000 people are viewing this right now. So like this is going to sell a ton. Like I'm sure this right now already has just been selling like hotcakes. So they're just probably like these first 30 days or whatever that Sideshow says like, oh, we're getting this many orders. They are probably going to produce a lot of this figure. With that being said too, I think the one part for me, I guess, with pre-ordering is like, I don't really want to, I'm at kind of now, even though like I haven't been collecting for, it's been like almost a year and a half. Like even if this was January to June, even if you wanted to wait, like you've wanted this figure for so long, like if you wait and you like you could be waiting even beyond like a year and a half potentially if this gets pushed to get this. And like, I guess my reason would be, or my question would be like, why do you want to wait? Like, do you want to wait for a deal on this? Or like, are you okay with paying full price? I feel like that's really like the main thing for me. If I'm okay with paying whatever the launch price is for something that I know I want, I would rather just pre-order it at that point. And put it in the spreadsheet. And then if it's something that I really like, want to wait for a deal, you're going to be waiting so long for a deal. And this is probably not going to get a deal for a while. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to wait a while. If like you're just, it's going to be, so like, I guess it just matter. My thing would be like, I guess it just, if you want it at launch, then I would just pre-order it. Unless you want to take the chance on not doing it. If you want to wait, then you're probably not going to get a good deal on it for a considerable time after waiting, considering that it's Han Solo. And also, I just want to bring up one other point of that. The Dial of Destiny, Indiana Jones, old Han is like, what, isn't one of the versions already low stock?
It is. Yeah.
So like, that's interesting too. Like with it being Harrison Ford, is this like, I would think this is going to go waitlist at some point, who knows when, but yeah, my points are all kind of all over the place, but I feel like if you're going to get this figure, and It sounds like for you, it's one that you've wanted. Like you should almost shed a man tear, man. If there's one, I'll say if there's one figure you should pre-order, it's this one, honestly. Based on what you said.
Honestly, I'm gonna do it, to be honest with you. That's why I was kind of hearing everybody's thoughts, because for me it was just like, I don't give a damn if this figure is $400, $500. It doesn't matter. Every once in a while there's a figure that comes across your computer that you say, I don't give a shit, I'm buying that figure. Like that's just it. It's coming home. I'm not waiting. I'm not going to go overseas and get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go crazy there. But why am I going to mess around if I absolutely know with 100% certainty that I want this figure?
Exactly.
Now, I always say, love it, like it, got to have it. I always preach that all the time, because that's how I rationalize my urgency for a figure. When it's like something that you just have wanted and you never thought you'll ever get it. Like for me, it's just like, congratulations, Sideshow. You got me. I'm going to pre-order a figure for the first time in maybe 3.5 years now. So just because, not because you won, but just because I won as a collector, and I don't care if there's a deal out there, it is 100% coming home as early as possible, because whether it's going to be mass produced, and I think you're on to some, Steve, I think this is going to be such a popular figure that there is going to probably be quite a few out there. Maybe you can find some out on the retail. For me, I don't care. For an extra $20, I'll get it home day one, or whatever day one is for Sideshow, or whoever I decide to pre-order from. So, but this is the best part of collecting, guys. When it's that absolute 100% certain, I'm just so happy to get this figure in my collection that I don't even care what the price is. It's coming home because it belongs in this collection. That's the best feeling in the world. So for me, man tears all day long for Han Solo Andor. I cannot wait for 2025. It better not be delayed. That's all I'm saying.
We should actually all just get it from the same vendor so that we can all get it at the same time, doing an unboxing live. That'll
somehow not happen anyways. But yeah,
right. Probably not going to work out the way we.
What makes me pause though too, and I know you said this will probably be mass produced, but the fact that like the Batman figures, a lot of them are going waitlist before, releasing to. That's what makes me like pause and be like, okay, if this is something that I really want, I'm going to pre-order it from somewhere to make sure that I lock it in, because all of the Pattinson Batmans were waitlisted. Tactical Batman from Justice League went waitlist. Flash Batman's waitlist. 89, is 89 going low, or is that one still? That is waitlisted.
Well, the deluxe is for sure. I don't know about
deluxe.
the.
Okay, so there's still a standard for now, but I'm just saying, like, a lot more and more of these are going waitlist, and I understand there's definitely other places to get than Sideshow and stuff. So it's just a case by case basis, but there's some of these where you just wind up, if you didn't pre-order it from somewhere, you might be paying over retail to even just get your hands on it. So that's just something each collector's got to just ask themselves before making that decision. And now I gotta try to catch up with this. Mama Luigi says, Cobb Vanth ended up costing more than Han. I'm seeing that thing go for 300 plus.
Yeah,
not necessarily a great figure, but sold out. People want it, so you're paying for it. The Marshall
going for 300 plus, baby.
See how long that lasts.
Freetown for life.
Yeah, some people are saying if it's important, pre-order it. And again, some things can still be found for under retail, but I think it's all about risk. And if you don't want to risk it, if you, like DLO said, if you just know, then just secure it.
And DLO, it's something you've always said too. Like, if you like it, love it, need it, you know what I mean, or however that goes. Like, you have to have this. So do it. Yeah.
People are asking about Chewbacca now. Return of the Jedi Chewbacca. I mean, it's probably time for an updated Chewbacca, but at the same time, I feel like that's a really hard figure to do. And I could see them just saying, "Fuck it." Like, A New Hope is good enough. I don't think they nailed
like halfway there. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, I don't think they nailed The Force Awakens at all. So, like, what do you guys think about a Chewie coming? Do you think that's on the horizon? Jump in
Well,
whoever wants to.
I feel like that's what we all naturally want, right? I mean,
I like mine actually.
the New Hope one is fantastic, but
like
I
the New
mean,
Hope one as well.
Chewie's fur color changed after that movie, and it lighting up there. So technically, it's accurate to one movie, not all the movies there. And I think whether you're a fan of OT or prequel or wherever, maybe the Han Solo movie, if you like that movie, I think it's underrated. But I mean,
like it.
There's still a need. There's still very much a need for another Chewbacca. But I think, to your point, Graham, it is a very hard figure to nail down. They are not good with hair. I mean,
All hair.
All hair. I mean,
Shaved.
we're talking about you, Kat, when we just had you about 25, 30 minutes ago. We were just chatting, right? To do an entire figure out of some kind of synthetic hair of some kind, what have you there, that is very hard. And I've seen a lot of Chewbacca's in my time here. Some look good because someone is pretty good with a comb, and then I've seen some people with some rough looking Chewbacca's out there, and I'm probably one of them. But
Looks like the Adams family figure, right?
yeah, it looks like Cousin It, right?
Cousin
I
It,
mean,
there you go.
It looks a little rough there, but I think we all need it at this point there. I just don't know. I don't know if Hot Toys has the confidence to do it again. I think that's where it's at. So
I agree. I think they'll do the easier characters first, like Emperor 2.0 and some of these other figures that they've maybe teased a little bit more. But who knows? Who knows?
of course, want it, gotta have it.
Yeah.
I think Chewie's coming.
Do you?
I don't see how you do a Han after all this time. Han and Chewie together are like peanut butter and jelly. Like I feel like
Spaghetti
they
and
go
the meatball.
so close hand in hand together. How do you release one without doing the other? Like you had to have that in the pipeline. I feel like
It's the perfect time to do it.
Is it a hard figure?
They're gonna do it. It's
but they've done it twice, so I would hopefully they would learn from that, and then the third time's the charm. But like I said, I like my New Hope one. If they could do it similar to that and maybe lengthen the hair or just change it up and match the color, I would be fine with that. But I do think Chewbacca's is on the horizon, given the fact that we're getting a Endor Han. Also, I think it's funny how we're having this conversation when basically like everybody's like, Return of the Jedi's dead.
Yeah.
It's done. We have no shot at getting any other Return of the Jedi figures.
That was us. I mean, that was us Wednesday.
That was us.
Me,
like,
right?
Not me.
It was me.
The OT it was. I also said the OT is not dead, but I mean, I think like I think in general everybody's kind of losing hope. Like we're not going to get any more Return of the Jedi figures, at least imminently, right? But yeah, I just think it's funny we're having this conversation now. But yeah, I do think that they're going to do another Chewbacca.
So, but here's the thing. Now that Han's coming, you can match him with Leia in Endor, Wicket in Endor, Luke with Endor, and Chewie damn near looks the same. So you could just use a New Hope. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think they have to.
But then that would entice people to also, even if he's Endor, that would entice people to just buy him because they want an updated Chewie. Like that's a win-win for Hot Toys.
I think he's due, but
someone else.
So what do you do? What do you do with the Return of the Jedi Chewie to make him different? What did he have or do that was different in Return of the Jedi? Did he have anything? Because they gotta also find the value in. They're not just gonna rebrand it Return of the Jedi and give you the same. Figure.
It's been so long though since they've done one. Like, look at when that Chewbacca came out. We're not talking about the Force Awakens Chewbacca because that is a lot different, right?
That one doesn't count.
Like, it's just been so long. I feel like people would just be, even if they didn't really change too much, if they just did subtle updates. Like, I feel like people are going to want a Chewbacca regardless of what like he really comes with. You know what I mean? They could give him an Endor base. They could give him, they could do a couple Endor themed things or whatever.
God, I love my OT. I just love it.
I do too.
Right up there.
And I would keep it. Like I would still just keep my OT one and have him right next to Han in there. But I
think my prediction, and let's see if this is right or not. I think they skip Return of the Jedi Chewie. And they wait until they announce Bespin Han and give us an Empire Strikes Back Chewie.
3PO
Deluxe with a broken down C3PO.
Yes, that would make sense.
That would be badass.
That would
People would
love
awesome.
that. That makes sense because there's nothing different in Return of the Jedi.
That would be awesome.
Empire. Yeah.
That would be cool, man.
TX Boy says, I'm already hearing a lot of collectors saying they're getting multiple looks. This will be one of the most sought after Star Wars pieces since DS Anakin, in my opinion. Interesting. So people might be buying multiples. I don't think you have to, but I don't know. We got Frank Flores in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Too sweet to you. We also have Miami's Nemesis in the house. Cheers to you and happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. Yes, 2.0 Batflick. It came back in stock, did it not? The tactical? I thought it did come back. It was waitlist for a long time, and I believe it did come back.
Talking about the BVS or the Justice League one?
I thought the Justice League came back. Maybe not.
The new tactical, like the new
Yeah,
tactical.
BVS hasn't been waitlisted
The new
yet.
tactical suit.
Tactical suit.
Yeah.
Tactical's Justice League, so I think that's what you mean there.
Yes.
BVS, just BVS.
How you figure with the $4.99 super chat? Thank you so much for your generosity and helping out the channel. I appreciate you guys. I got to run, but I enjoyed the Catwoman discussion and Han Solo hands talk. Hit that like button. Wolfpack and Catwoman hype, man. I'm gonna do a little shot for you for that $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much.
In real time.
Drinking gasoline, folks.
That's
Here
a
we
little
go.
Ardbeg, by the
You're
way.
being
10
cute
year
right there.
Scotch. Thank you so much for that super chat. You, sir, are the real hero. Whew. If they announce a new Chewie, I will lose the other half of my mind. Nerdgasm.
Understandable.
I need Chewie and Leia from OT. Well, obviously, Chewie is an easy one to pinpoint which one you want to get. For a Leia, though, which one would you guys suggest the movie canon go after? We have A New Hope. We have 2 from Empire. We have Hoth and then Bespin. And then you have Endor. Which would you guys tell movie canon to get for a Leia? Sneaker, start with you.
A New Hope would be my
New Hope?
pick. I love that figure. Yeah, but they're all really good in their own way. But yeah, I feel like for me personally, I feel like the main look that really is like iconic for Carrie Fisher and in the role is A New Hope in the white dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go for me personally if I was in your shoes.
How about you, Brick?
I would go with Hoth. It's my my favorite
Good
Star
looking
Wars
one, too.
movie, and yeah, got to go with that.
DLO?
Good look.
Man, I wish I went first. First 2 really good answers. I think if you're going to have one Leia, I would agree with Sneaker. Go with the New Hope. That's as iconic as it gets for Star Wars and Princess Leia. Personal favorite, Hoth. Leia is 100% on the money for that there. So I will throw in a dark horse here that's severely underrated because she doesn't come with anything.
Bespin.
Bespin Leia.
See, I was going to say the value just doesn't seem to be there, but it looks great.
It is a beautiful figure. I like it just because it goes well with other figures here because of the exclusive background that she comes with hers. It's like the halls of Bespin there, which I think is a nice touch to it there for Cloud City. So it's a really nice piece. You can put Mando right next to her. Looks amazing. Hint, hint, Steve. It looks amazing with Lando on
I
it.
just want to go and watch the OT now. I just want to.
I like how you have that custom Bespin Han next to that. I know you had them like hugging, right?
For me,
right?
like my favorite, I love movie
that was
posters.
cool.
Back when I was a kid, I used to collect movie posters nonstop, and I would always change them out and stuff like that. So for me, my favorite one has always been the Empire Strikes Back poster,
which we have tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I just always love that look of just Han kind of like leaning Leia over, just like about to give her a nice little kiss right there on the post. I always thought it's very beautiful, like shot there. So I wanted to immediately kind of copy that when I was thinking about how I was going to put my display together. So yeah, like Bespin Leia is a nice pickup. Just kind of like gives you the whole vibe of what Leia was. Badass, but royalty and part-time rebel there. So yeah, I would go with that one. Probably the easiest and cheapest to find too.
I don't know. She's not as cheap anymore, actually.
Yeah, she kind of went up a little bit.
That you guys
tough to
recommend.
find her
Compared to a New Hope
sub
and
300,
and Hoth, yeah.
330. Yeah,
Yeah,
She's
compared to
probably the
those
cheapest
guys,
one you're
yeah.
gonna get now.
true. I think the one I'll throw in.
Last Jedi,
I
maybe.
agree. I agree. There, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the Leias. There's none that are bad. A New Hope is. If I could only have one, it'd probably be a New Hope. But at the same time, I love my Endor Leia. I love the green poncho. If you could get her with Wicket, I think that's extreme value for what you're getting there too. I think the head sculpt looks good. You have a couple different looks that you can do. The hair's all like braided. Plus, you can put the helmet on. So I'm gonna throw that one into the mix too. And we're giving you, we're all doing one, but
All of them.
get
There you
all
go.
of them. I
Get 'em
have a
all.
New Hope and Endor. I'm happy with those. If I could get Hoth, I would, but she's too expensive. I've also kept an eye out for Bespin. But you know, I'm good with what I have. But I mean, yeah, it'd always be nice to get more too. So hopefully we helped you out. But at the same time, it's a tough choice.
You're welcome.
I just realized that Lando has been just right next to me on the bottom of this screen this entire last few minutes. Why?
Yeah, dude, you gotta
Get 'em.
Yeah,
Get 'em.
at the bottom of the screen and at the bottom of my list.
I just don't get why you wouldn't trust your friends when we tell you he's a great figure.
Should I?
Oh, he's a great
you wanna see
figure.
him?
He's
You
a
wanna
great
see him,
figure. No,
Steve?
I've
Bring him
seen
out.
him.
If you got
I've
easy
seen him.
access,
I
bring
don't
him out.
need to see
Yeah, I can
Lando.
grab
You
him.
go get him, and
No,
I'll
I
keep
don't
running
need
through
to
these
see
chats.
Lando. I've already seen him multiple times. No.
Nick says,
I feel like-
Chewy. That'd be funny.
That would be funny. I feel like when we do this to Steve, he wants it even less. Wants this figure.
Like I
Even
said,
less.
I feel like at this point, I just like shouldn't ever get him for a long time because I like the running joke.
Yeah, they definitely would have to get Chewie's face right. I mean, that's honestly the
Yeah,
only thing that's lacking. It's a great figure, and even when you're like a few feet away from the display, he looks fine. But if you get up like super close, you can see some imperfections there. But I got my Chewie looking just right, like almost like Empire Strikes Back, where he's on Hoth in the wind, the hair is all blowing, and I think it looks chef's kiss. But I've seen some that are pretty rough too. So we got Queso Blanco in the house. Oh shit, I missed Catwoman. Go back. No, watch it on the replay. We did talk about her, but you're here for the Star Wars now. So thank you for being here, Queso Blanco. Appreciate you, Austin. I think Hot Toys will wait to announce Chewbacca when Inart or J&D makes an announcement just to steal their thunder. I just noticed Delo's pointy beanie out here looking like Santa's smoothest elf.
Gosh.
Dude, I think C-3PO is
I'll
going to
take
hit
it.
soon
I
too.
heard that.
I think C-3PO from Return of the Jedi is probably going to come out this spring. So everybody just kind of brace yourself
Yeah,
for
we
that.
still
I
need
have
to
that one
run that
pre-ordered, and
figure.
I was looking at that today, and I was like, ooh, I
All right.
might need to
So,
plan for
folks,
that.
we're going to stop the show for about maybe 3 minutes. This is a new segment that I told nobody about until right now. This is how to sell sneaker. How to sell sneaker. Lando Clarissian. We're going to do it right now, folks. All right, here we go.
Woo!
Where'd he go?
First step. Here we go. Ready? Steve, are you ready?
Are you ready to rock?
Are you gonna show me the box first? Or are we gonna get
No, 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 no. No. We don't.
ready.
We don't go to the main course. We
I'm
had to.
ready.
We had to start with an appetizer.
Oh,
What the hell is he bringing out? What is he doing? Now, we have another custom, my custom, Bespin Han, which eventually Hot Toys will make now that we have this. Here is my Bespin, beautiful Princess Leia here, posed together. Now, she comes with a similar background like this one here, but it's the white walls of Cloud City there.
Was it
which-
clamshell? Like super cheap?
It is a little plasticky, I will admit. Not as good as this is right here.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
now imagine, Steve, if you got this
imagining.
Leia, and then this Han Solo came out.
And then you have Lando hugging on the other side. Little threesome.
And you got
oh my gosh.
Lando waiting to betray him in the
Oh
background.
my gosh, there
Acknowledge
he
him.
is.
Hold on.
Acknowledge him.
Acknowledge him. Come on,
Wow.
dude.
He looks
He's
beautiful.
Cut
Is that
it out.
Is that a weapon?
Yeah,
This communicator.
weapon of
joking.
love.
A little dagger.
Smoothest,
Weapon of love.
Cigarette.
smoothest criminal in the
Did you put him
galaxy.
in this pose as like a threat to me?
No, on the contrary, he's welcoming.
He's welcoming.
Look at that. You could have the
And
Wow,
trio.
look at Lando.
Please, Steve.
Look at Lando
Steve,
third wheeling.
you must buy
That's
me.
exactly why he
You
won't
must
ever
buy
enter
me,
my
Steve.
collection.
I'll just watch.
Since we're showing off figures,
And we're done.
there's
We're
also a figure that I would like
19.
to show off.
Yeah.
Since we are talking Star Wars, and it's
Oh, I'm off. Okay.
Lando.
Oh,
Lando Calrissian. It's a figure that you
Ooh.
really need to get. Oh, look at how beautiful he is.
I love the
Come
way
on.
that cape is flaring out, dude. Look at that.
Look at Lando, and he's like got the blaster in hand, but then getting ready to use his little James Bond communicator device. I think the likeness looks great.
About to use that communicator device to sell out his friends. God, dude.
Man.
Should have just said Lando Calrissian parentheses sellout on his nameplate.
Chat. Tell me
Hold
if
on.
you have a Lando, how happy you are with it, and that sneaker needs to get a Lando.
You don't like Lando because he's a traitor? Isn't Anakin a traitor?
Actually,
Lando
Yeah.
betrayed his
next to
friends.
Terminator.
Ah.
Chat. I want
Anakin
you to tell me
killed
what you
younglings.
think Lando is worth. What would you pay for a Lando? I want to hear what you think a fair price for Lando is. I believe retail is $240, but what would you pay for a Lando Calrissian? What would make it worth it to you for an OT staple of a figure, of a character?
I
Tell
wish
us
I
in the
busted
chat
out of
now.
Lando right now. That'd be great.
Rob's like, I just want to show a figure as well. And he gets out a box. Lando.
Convince Brick to buy a Lando.
No, yeah, sure. We got Mike 16 Collector in the house too. What's up, dude? Thank you for being here. New Hope. Update the head sculpt and the outfit is easy to replicate. Oh, Bosch Leia would be amazing. I don't know why they haven't done that one yet. I understand Slave Leia. Like, I get it why they wouldn't do that one, but
Sure.
that
Yeah, if they
Gotta
made
give
that
us
and then a
that one.
skiff guard Lando, that would be a cool Lando.
I would also love a Gamorrean guard. I know there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sideshow version, but
Yeah.
we need a Hot Toys
Yeah.
Gamorrean guard.
Well, then you got to get then you got to get Jabba, man. You gotta start going down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, backdrop of Lando also goes great with Bespin Leia. Thank you,
Mhm.
single songwriter.
Bobby,
It's
Steve,
DLO.
Bobby.
Don't you know? Lando isn't that significant of a character. Some silly goose with a microphone.
That's me. That's me.
You're welcome, Movie Canon. Hopefully we helped you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
He's like, I'm buying a
buy,
Lando.
buy one of the Leias that are available.
Zoom in on the stash. All right, let us know. Okay, so you guys are starting to trickle in with what you would pay for a Lando figure. Yeah, single songwriter says Lando blew up the second Death Star. He was redeemed. So
After
then
putting
maybe he
his
should get the
friends through
sideshow
torture
version.
and torment. Gosh,
He had a
literally-
change of heart.
Lando is part of the reason why Luke had to risk his life and go to Jabba and fall in the Rancor pit. It's all Lando's fault.
It's called
A lot of this is just
character
A lot of this
development.
is just Lando's fault, you guys. If you really think about the basis for Return of the Jedi, how much of it is Lando's fault? Ask yourself that question. Traitor.
He was just trying to protect
Bit
his
harsh.
people.
Bit harsh, man.
Yeah, Anakin killed all the kids. I mean, come on.
I mean, literally.
Right.
You love Anakin.
You got dark side Anakin.
No, he
on
was
your
not
shelf.
Anakin at that time. He was not
Oh,
Anakin at that point in
gosh.
time. okay?
And technically,
He was
he's
not
responsible for
Anakin.
Padme's death because she died of a broken heart. Hmm.
He was not.
Wow,
Darth
that's
Vader
very
was.
true.
Okay. Okay. He wasn't
Anakin killed
anymore.
a
He
ton
was
of
Darth
Tusken
Vader.
Raiders who had
He-
families.
He killed. Oh shoot!
Killed
All right,
Obi-Wan.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Obi-Wan.
Miami's Nemesis says on Macari, I've seen 130 to 150. Well, that's pretty much right in Sneaker's price range.
Too much.
Hammer of God says no more than 150.
Too much.
He won't even
Who-
pay that
Isn't that
much.
crazy?
come on, that's a
Whose head did
slap in the
Anakin-
face.
Whose head did Anakin chop off before he
Dooku.
was Darth Vader? Okay.
Oh, Dooku. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dooku,
Cold
but
blood.
that was dire circumstances, man.
Whose
Eh,
hand did he chop off?
whose
Dooku as
hand?
well.
No, Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
That
did he
was
ever do?
before. Yeah.
Well, he thought he was pretty. Okay, we're not going to get into this.
All right.
Let's move on.
Well,
Collection
no matter.
Defends Anakin.
Hold on.
but-
Why are we debating the morality of Anakin and Lando
It's
when it comes to
contradicting
getting
to
this
your
figure?
collecting here. You like
Anakin
he
is
betrayed
different.
his friends. Anakin killed his friends and
It's
his
February.
old lady.
Sneaker.
But he did that
It needs
after
to be
he
done.
was
February,
already
too.
he was
February.
already Darth Vader at
Wrong
that
with
point.
you.
He wasn't really Anakin, okay? He had a rough
Collection
upbringing.
Obsession says I
No.
got Lando at 35% off during the holiday sale. I think that's a good steal for the figure. I think when he eventually does sell out, he's going to be sought after. So get him now while you can.
Also, Lando is freaking living it up on freaking Cloud City. Dude, Anakin's living it. Anakin literally freaking had the worst childhood.
Dude, he got the pod race
Dude, the
every
dude has the
week.
most tragic
I
life.
hate stands.
Anakin had such a tragic life, man.
I hate that.
Lando's freaking doing whatever he wants up on Cloud City, just living it up, and then betrays his friends. Man, come on.
We don't know that. It was
He had
always
it
that
good
easy
enough
for
to
Lando.
build his own pod racer. He was doing fine.
I got my Lando for like 190, and I was happy with it, and I still am. So
Hammer of God says start a GoFundMe.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
There you
Guy
go.
can't even buy his own freaking Lando, but he can buy Iron Man left and right. So
Bought mine full retail because he was just
And
one of
how,
those
how
how
do
do
you-
you,
right?
how do you get a
That I was gonna
chick?
Damn, that's
How do you get a
sad.
chick like Padme
Not at
but
all.
still
F
go
off,
evil?
Sneaker.
I don't get it.
How do I what?
I said, how do you get a chick like Padme and still go evil? Come on. You know?
I'm gonna have
Dude,
Lando
the
here on
power
my
of
side
the dark
until you
side
buy him
compels you.
every week
Okay.
from here on out.
Yeah, have him back
Every
there
week,
every week.
Lando
till he
will
buys
be
it.
here.
I think Brick
We got
needs to
off
get him
subject
too.
here.
He's been quiet over
Yeah,
there.
Brick.
What a
Yeah,
segment.
you know what, Brick?
What
You're
a great
trying to
segment.
hide in the shadows here.
Yeah,
need a Lando.
pick on Brick.
Brick's like, what a
The-
loser.
Problem is, I have so many
Brick is
Star Wars
defending
figures.
Lando over here, and he
Hold on,
doesn't have
hold
a
on.
Lando.
But there are so many Star Wars figures that I need to buy as
Yeah,
well.
Lando.
Whereas you
Who's a
have
top-tier
all the
figure
Star
according to
Wars
everybody.
figures already, and still
Look, he
don't
goes
want them.
great with Terminator too.
Hold on. Everybody's also saying though that Lando's a really important top tier character, so he should be at literally the top of your.
Nobody ever said he was top tier, but he's a solid staple.
He's probably
Star
in the
Wars.
top 10 figures in Star Wars.
He's
that
better than a stormtrooper
No,
that you seem to have plenty of.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you have more than one stormtrooper, yes.
Does anybody else want to judge my collection tonight? Go ahead, chat. Have at it.
It's
Have
a
at
good
it, everybody.
What you
Can
should do,
cue-
Sneaker,
can
is
you
just
cue
get a
the
little
Kylo
picture
Ren
of
yelling
Lando.
more?
Grab your camera
Kylo
and
Ren
go to your
yelling more right
cases,
now.
and we'll judge them one by one.
Get a little
Lando's
picture
better.
of Lando. and put it
Lando's
on your
better.
desk.
This one's terrible. Throw it away.
Look at this. If not for Lando, Solo wouldn't have the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, you mean when he tried to cheat him out of winning it, and Han had to freaking figure out he was a cheater, and then
X-Man
beat him at his
knows
own
what's
cheating
going on.
game because Lando is a cheater? Yeah.
Even-
Don't forget
even
Lando
single
even tried to
songwriter
swindle
knows.
Han in the game of Sabak to get the Falcon in the first place, okay?
It's
He knew
part of
Lando
the
was
40th
cheating.
anniversary.
Lando was cheating to win Sabak, guys. Okay? He's a cheater and he
Sure.
is a sellout.
You're all about like exclusivity and stuff. This is ESP.
Han
40th
shot first.
Anniversary.
I'm going to throw it out there. Han
For that
shot
reason
first.
alone.
It's part of the 40th anniversary
He's
line.
not an angel.
Your bought a Spider-Man before Lando.
Gosh, at least
All right.
Spider-Man's a
That
hero.
is true. Ugh.
At least Spider-Man's a hero. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, you watch Sneaker. Lando will be a grill one day. You watch. You'll miss out.
then
And
that's
then you'll
when
have to
he'll
pay
want him.
double retail.
Mm-hmm.
God, I forgot about that. Lando literally cheated everybody in Sabak. He sold out his friends. Oh man,
Yo.
this character is just unbelievable.
So getting back on track. This was a fun topic, by the way. I actually really like this.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'll bring it
Um,
back next episode.
Oh man.
So Han Solo is coming out, which is what we've been talking about.
Yes.
Now that they're coming out with a Han Solo, do we think, and a couple guys asked about this in the chat too, but do we think it's possible that we get young Indiana Jones?
I 1,000% believe we will.
That'd be awesome.
I
I
1,000% believe so.
I can't bring myself to buy this one. Big Indiana Jones fan as a kid. Loved watching the trilogy. This looks like a great figure. I think all you really need to do is change the head sculpt. There's not much else you have to do to sell a young Indiana Jones figure. So I think it's pretty cut and dry. But Snickering Sneaker, what do you think?
Are we going to get a young Indiana Jones? Yeah, I do think we're going to get a young Indy at some point. I don't see why they wouldn't do that at this point, especially getting like an Endor Han. Yeah, I feel like it's at some point going to happen. I would think.
Will you, Brick?
Yeah,
It's a possibility?
100%. 100%. It's a possibility. I think anything's a possibility. I guess it's more of a question of how soon. And I don't know how soon, but I think eventually, within a couple years, we'll get an announcement or something. It's definitely possible.
No, I agree, and I hope it's this year. You know, we had the actors strike, so hopefully they start to kind of re-up some of these older figures like Terminator, Predators, Indiana Jones. You know, some of the figures that they did back in the day before they were owned by the mouse, you know, would be nice if we got 2.0s of. So I'd be in. Would you? Who here? I know, Brick, you're not the biggest Indiana Jones fan, but who here would go all in for a young indie? I would. Sneaker, is this a big franchise for you growing up or not really?
I probably would get a young indie. Yeah, I've seen I haven't seen this movie. I've seen all the other ones though.
I haven't seen this one either.
I
Actually,
probably would get a young one.
Temple of Doom, I think, is my favorite, but I love them all. Like, you got Sean Connery in the third one. The first one's great, but Temple of Doom, I think that's the second one, right? Where a guy rips his heart out. Yeah, that's my favorite one. So,
you know, fun fact about that movie though.
Least
I'm not
favorite.
sure if you guys know.
Oh,
sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. No, fun fact about Temple of Doom. Because of Temple of Doom, you know they changed the rating system on movies. That movie was rated PG. If you can believe that. If you remember what happens in that movie.
Oh, I remember.
That is the reason. That fun fact, if you don't know, guys, Temple of Doom is the reason why we have PG-13 movies now.
The more you know.
Ruined it for everybody.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
DLO, what's your favorite indie movie? Don't say
Last Crusade. I like Last Crusade a lot.
It's a good one.
Him with Connery was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Junior.
Finding the Holy Grail. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That was a pretty cool one there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a bit more surprised. I thought we would get young Indy before we get Han Solo. To be honest with you, I thought Han Solo would be after a young Indy there, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Brick, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just honestly curious.
No, it's fine.
Have you seen all of the Indiana Jones movies?
I have seen the first half of the first movie. And okay, so here's the problem. I did not grow up with these films, right? And we all have films that we haven't grown up with. This is mine.
I get it.
And I think my problem is I played Uncharted, I played Tomb Raider, you know, and then finally I go and try and watch these movies. I'm like, it's okay. You know, I just couldn't get into it.
I think if I saw Indiana Jones for the first time as an adult, it might hit me different than when I saw it as a kid. So I can honestly respect that. And I could see if somebody couldn't get into it. I'm trying to like compare it to something that I've seen as like personally like late, and then I wasn't really into it, but nothing is popping into my head right now. But I get it. Sneaker, did you say which one is your favorite?
I'd probably go with the one with Sean Connery in it as well.
Yeah,
I really like that one. Yeah. Brick, you should just watch the first one and see. Like, you should try to just watch the whole thing. Because I watched them I actually watched them like a few years ago for the first time. I didn't grow up with them. I actually went back because I had seen the first. I think I saw the first one a long time ago. But I ended up going back. My wife and I watched them. And if you just kind of take them for what they are, you know, I feel like they're just fun. You know, just
and usually I'm really good at that. Usually I'm really good at that to like just know, hey, this came out in what do they come out in the 80s, early 80s or something like that. I could be wrong, but
mainly the 80s. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong time to start watching them. Maybe it was because I was watching it by myself and not somebody who was like really into it. Maybe it's I don't know. But it's one of those things where I feel like we all have that something that everyone's kind of into, but you're not, you know, like.
No, there was something I watched too late, and I just wasn't as into it. I just can't remember what it is, but because it's not like cheesy, but at the same time, I could see it just being more magical as a kid. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like not the same type of action Like you're seeing him
Yeah.
fighting people as you see in
Right.
like an action movie nowadays, right? It's just like there's a lot more fun. It's a lot just more fun type action. But I will say, like the movies, like after you watch the first one, when you watch the next couple, like the character grow. Like I feel like the character development for Indy's really good, and just like
Yeah.
kind of what he becomes as you go like through the movies and just like his character. So as you keep watching him, I feel like it
Right.
gets like still keeps getting better too. It's kind of like playing Uncharted. Uncharted is a good comparison.
Yeah.
I would love a younger indie though for like my miscellaneous shelf, because it's like I have almost all the representation from when I was a kid outside of Indiana Jones. Really, like Star Wars is the staple, but then we have RoboCop, we have Terminator, we have Predator, we have Back to the Future. Like I have everything, but I'm missing Indiana Jones. So I would love to be able to add that. And I know they did the older figure, but I think it's definitely one that needs an update. So
Yeah.
Hoping for it. Yeah, X-Man is he's with me. We all get a young Indiana Jones. Miami's Nemesis says 2.0 Sarah Connor. That one definitely could use a 2.0. Because that's an older figure too. I was talking to Andrew James, a friend, not so much in Hot Toys anymore. He used to be. And he was saying that he would really like to see a reissue of the DX-13 Terminator, the battle damage T2. I was like, no thanks. A, because it's one of my last grails that I still have, but then B, I still think it looks so damn good that it doesn't need one. But I know there's a lot of people that would love to have that too. But I think Sarah Connor could use an upgrade more than like one of those Terminator figures. I think those Terminator figures were done really well.
I think we need a new Ripley,
right here.
Alien, and all that.
Speaking of which, I transformed.
Screw you.
I transformed my Terminator for the first time into the battle damage from T1. I just want to show this off because, like, again, for such an older figure, look at how badass
Yeah, it's awesome.
it is.
It's cool.
I love this figure. Sold it once, got it back, and I won't let it go again. So, put him back there. Let him be safe. But yeah, I know
There's always those movies. There's always those movies that you remember the first time that you sat down and watched it. Like you'll never forget that. And
Right.
Terminator's one of those for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys in the chat you're making your voices heard. Everybody would love a young indie. Anybody getting the old indie? Anybody on the panel? I'm not. I haven't seen the movie. No. It's not my indie. Looks great.
Not my indie.
It's kind of depressing. I don't want that indie at all. Like it's a great figure. There's not a single thing wrong with it, but it just represents like my heroes should just retire instead of make more movies. That's just me.
Right.
Go to bed.
You know,
That's interesting.
Bedtime.
The Jabba says, "I'd love an Arthur Morgan." I've been playing the hell out of the Red Dead Redemption 2, and
for years. Say for years. Finish your sentence.
for years. Yeah, well, I didn't finish the first time, and now I'm further than I ever was, and I'm only like 50% done with the story. It's a long story.
Oh, you never beat it?
No.
What are you doing? Like all the mini missions?
Yeah, I
inside
did
of
all
it?
the mini stuff, and then I was doing the hunting, and then I sold the Xbox or whatever it was, and then I just bought it back a while ago for the PS5, and I've just been. It's pretty much the only thing I play on there right now. Played The Last of Us 2, and now I'm on Red Dead 2. But it's all
game is
a lot
long.
longer than I thought.
That game took me 70
I'm in
hours to beat.
St. Denis right now. I'm doing those missions and stuff.
Oh, nice.
but,
You're getting close.
Yeah, you get
I was only like 50% done with the missions. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
You
it
guys
took me
ever play
70
Ghosts?
hours, I remember.
You guys ever play Ghost of Tsushima? Am I saying that right?
Oh
I don't know.
yeah,
But
great
I
game.
love that
Incredible
game.
game.
Great
So
game.
good. I was trying to tell Graham like, hey, next game, get it. It's good.
VTS
Yeah,
Toys
it's a
has
good
an
call.
awesome like Ghost of the Battlefield third-party figure.
Really?
Really? Oh, yeah, but he is not cheap. 400 plus
Mm-mm.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's.
I was thinking of like
now.
a figure from that or an Uncharted figure would be really cool.
Yeah.
But man,
They've got a
that's
couple
my-
third-party Uncharted ones, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
as well. But
I-
if if there was a Red Dead figure, I'd want John Marston.
Hell
From
yeah.
I'd want him over Arthur Morgan. I feel like he has like more of just like that. I feel like that look to him for like the kind of the Western style look more so than Arthur Morgan. But yeah, I'd go John Marston. Anyways,
Off track.
sorry.
Blanco
Once we're
says,
talking about video games.
Ripley from Aliens is needed and a big chat.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Both of those for sure.
Yeah, I'm not paying those crazy prices for Ripley right now. She's on my radar, but I am not close to paying what she's going for. So
Let me ask you
I
a
didn't
question.
watch that as a kid a lot. I mean, that was more of like me watching as an adult, so I don't have the same like nostalgia factor with that. But still, definitely a character I want.
Yeah.
The
I know
only-
Present Toys is doing one
Oh,
Looks
really?
pretty
for Ripley for Aliens. Yeah, Present Toys is doing one.
Oh, you know what? I have seen that. Yeah. Remember. Is the third movie worth watching? I've seen every Alien except for the third. I've always skipped it because I hear bad
Yeah,
things. But
I think Resurrection is where it starts to get a little weird.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Resurrection was weird. All right.
Brick, did you see the prequels?
You know what?
Prometheus and
That
Covenant?
latest, I've seen Prometheus, but the Covenant one I have not seen either. So that So I guess I haven't seen two of them.
They're good, but not like super
Yeah.
memorable.
Yeah, I like Prometheus a lot. I actually went and seen that movie not knowing it was connected. So that's
Same
kinda cool.
here.
Yeah.
And then it was cool because then I went back and I watched Alien, and then you see that same
That
ship.
The
and
ship.
I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
That's cool.
Putting it together here, putting it together. But yeah,
Oh.
I'd love to add some Alien franchise as well to my display.
Oh,
It's
so
just
cool.
those prices are high, and it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to go back and buy a $400 or $500 figure when it's 10 plus years old too, and just for quality.
Knowing that
You
it
know.
used to be like 220.
Well, no, just knowing like how old it is
Yeah.
and how much time am I really going to get out of it, you know?
Plus,
So-
you're closer to reissue than you are to really worth getting in at that point too.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I do want to throw something random out here that I've been thinking about quietly. Like, man, just what figures has Hot Toys not made that I would honestly buy? And that list is becoming harder and harder just because so many of those figures now have been made. But there's still a few gems out there. You know what? A figure I would actually kill to have.
John McClane.
Aside from that, because you said that one before, so no, that's already on the list. No, Brendan Fraser from the Mummy.
Ooh, we were just
Ooh,
watching.
wow.
that the other
That's a
night. We had to
great-
stop, though, 'cause the
Wow,
kids were
dude, that would be
great.
awesome.
I would
Yeah,
freaking
Like that.
But like, think of like how they have Sandman with the diorama base. Could you imagine if they did something like that for his
That'd be
his
cool.
character in the background?
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Great.
The
movie.
Mummy was a huge movie when it came out. I can't remember the year, but it was a big deal.
99. Actually,
That
I
was
remember-
I was gonna say around
huge
2000.
movie.
Yeah.
And while the CGI didn't age the best, it is still a really fun movie to watch. Like I said, we were just watching it like this week, and we had to turn it off though because the kids were they were on their iPads, but they'd be like this and then like looking, and they're just getting too afraid. So we had to stop. But man, I love that movie too, and yeah, growing up watching that too.
classic.
it's-
Man.
It's weird because for DLO, at least for you and I, for our age range, it's not like those core memories of like when we're young children watching Star Wars, RoboCop, and all
Right.
that. But like teenagers watching that,
Right.
it was still a big deal. So yeah, it'd be cool
Austin
to-
Powers would be another cool figure. Get that artisan chest hair.
Yeah.
I've
Let's
seen
go.
some third party when I first started collecting that. Somebody made the Dr. Evil and the Austin Powers. I was like, damn,
That's
if I
cool.
could get that, that would be so cool.
Man, a mini me.
Yeah. Yeah, X-Men says Rachel Wise in that Egyptian get up.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that's the part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. And plastic's very brittle 10 years ago. Yeah,
That's true.
if you're getting a figure like that. Oh, man, Seinfeld. Yeah, it'd be cool, too. Like, not necessarily superheroes, but like just these figures from TV shows or whatnot, too. These like Friends or Seinfeld or The Office. Like, I would even love like football players, like you know how McFarlane does like football, but like if Hot Toys like or Enerbay does basketball, like if Hot Toys would
Anybody
tackle
did.
football
Yeah.
players. That would be a game changer as well. So that'd be tough.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, just because it's like I don't want to say I'm bored with the lineup that Hot Toys gives us there, because I mean it's great to have Star Wars, DC, and Marvel, but sometimes I wish they would make more stuff outside of their comfort zone there. So I thought the Mummy was a good one. It's kind of going back a little further. You guys probably completely forgot about. How about Lethal Weapon? You guys remember Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's one I never really watched. Actually.
No, oh man,
Dude, I would even take Bad Boys. Give me those.
Bad Boys would be
Cool.
awesome. And me personally, one of my all-time favorite movies, and this is just me. I know no one is going to agree with me on this one here, but
No.
Point Break is one of my all-time favorite movies.
That movie's
of all
goat.
time. Point Break. Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. That was like a dude off. You know what I mean? It was just straight up surfer bro against surfer bro. Man, I thought that was one of my favorite movies. I would kill for something like that too. Just
Dude, I
like
would
more
kill for-
random pieces.
I would kill for Top Gun, but I know that's never gonna happen.
Good
Give me a
one.
There's a
Maverick.
third party. There's a really nice. I forget what company is
Stop
that.
picture,
The
though, I
third
think.
party Maverick. That's actually like it looks with the helmet. I mean the head sculpt isn't perfect by any means, but it looks the likeness is there when you have the helmet on. I thought about picking that one
I'm
up.
gonna have to take a
So
look.
you'll never
Yeah,
find a
it's-
Tom Cruise licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
figure.
yeah.
Sucks.
But it's the third party one is really Brick. I should try and find exactly what one that is. It's nice, man. I bet you would
Yeah.
want it if you saw it.
Well, I think that's
Oh,
why
boy.
like Mars Toys gives me
Oh, a
hope
lot.
for some of these figures too. Like they're unlicensed, but at the same time, I mean, I have that Willy Wonka pre-ordered. Like that was a huge movie for me growing up, and to be able to add the original Willy Wonka is it says a lot for me to put in my collection. And they're doing stuff that just Hot Toys won't do. Maybe they'll do Batman, but they won't do that Alfred. So I have that Alfred coming as well. Trying to think what, like prank villain Joker as well. What else they got going on? They even did the Wolf of Wall Street. Like if you're into that,
Yeah.
I'm not really myself, but like it's good to at least have hope with some of these good third party companies that maybe you still get a chance. Like if Hot Toys won't do it, that you could pick it up there. So something to think about. DLO, did you get your invoice for Alfred?
I actually didn't get it. I'm regretting it. I kept saying I was gonna pre-order, and then it was sold out. I missed out.
That makes me sad.
Yeah, it makes
Kinda
me
like
sad.
what I'm saying about Wonka, but I don't know.
They'll make a second
Wonka's
run.
still
I'm not
available.
worried about it.
I know he is. It's just I spend a lot of money, you know.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I just it sucks.
Damn that Cobb Vanth. I'll blame it on him. That's why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
That's why I
Well,
didn't get it.
I'll be sure to do a video and bring him on the show. Here we go. DLO, I think this might be for you. Anybody getting Present Toys Blade?
Yeah, I've been debating that one a lot, but there's a second Blade being made by So as well, and that one I think is, I want to say it's from Part 3, and that one looks really good as well too. So I'm kind of torn. I don't know which one I want between the two there, because the other one, the Present Toys one, looks like a complete like carbon copy of the original Hot Toys one, which is not a bad thing. I hear everything's leather with that too, so it's tough because honestly, I'm not crazy about the head sculpt. It just feels very cartoonish to me there. So I don't know. I want to wait and see what the So Toys looks like with the final product, and then I'll figure out which one I'll pick up. But I do want one because Blade, another great trilogy back from the day as well.
Yeah,
I didn't even know Blade was part of Marvel when those came out. I had no idea.
either.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
When
vampire
they
movie.
came out, I didn't know until I got older. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I think there's just so much on the table that Hot Toys could do, but I get it. They're kind of just, they're focused on Disney and DC, and that's kind of where their money's at, and that's fine. But man, so many things out there yet,
I'm still wondering, Sneaker, if that Wonka picture that you told me about for the new Wonka movie, if that's legit, because I still haven't seen it for Hot Toys.
Yeah, how they posted that, how they're doing, they teased that they were doing Wonka like figures for the new Wonka movie.
Was that Hot Toys that teased that?
It was an official Hot Toys account that tweeted it. It was just it was in a different language.
Okay,
Mm.
because I
It
would
was
get
completely in a different language on the tweet. And it was really I feel like it was overlooked. Like it came out and nobody talked about it. It was
Didn't
that,
Ours
and there was
Toys tease that one too?
I don't know, but it was a Hot Toys one.
I thought
'cause
they teased Johnny Depp's.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I
Yeah.
remember I sent it. To you.
Yeah,
There was
that's
one
right.
more. There was one more. They teased Wonka, and there was something else on that same day. I forget exactly what it was, but it was definitely like a real teaser that they got the IP. So I don't know.
That would be cool. Yeah, because he could have like not to spoil the movie, and this doesn't, but he could have like you have Willy Wonka and then the Oompa Loompa in that jar, that glass jar.
Careful.
That'd be cool. That's all I'm saying.
Wasn't that in the trailer? I thought that.
Yeah.
That was in the trailer, anyways.
Yeah, Equan says I did not know the new movie was basically a musical until I watched it. There was definitely a lot of songs, but still a really good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, borderline musical. Yeah.
But so was the original. I mean, borderline musical. The mom starts singing out of nowhere when Charlie Bucket's walking away. Like, what's going on?
Cheer up, Charlie.
Yeah.
Freaking Grandpa Joe, one of the worst characters in all
Oh,
of
come on.
Yes,
Oh, get right out of
I'm
bed.
with Sneaker. I'm with you.
Around.
There's a Reddit subreddit that's literally called it's either fuck Grandpa Joe or Grandpa Joe hate. And it's literally dedicated to just every post on there is just a hateful thing about Grandpa Joe. It's one of the funniest things. Oh man.
He was in that bed for what? A decade, 2 decades, and then just decides
And
to
uses his grandson.
And can you imagine
Uses his
sharing a
family
bed
to his
with 3 other
advantage.
people? Just, I don't know, seems gross, but
Oh man, it's crazy and like stirring the laundry. I think of the scene like vividly
Oh,
stirring
yeah.
the laundry with the stick. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
1/6 Delights is hopefully used from Jazz and can start doing figures. I don't know. I think
Does he want to?
I don't know if he wants to. I mean, his
It's been
niche
mentioned
is
in the
really
past.
Oh, interesting.
vehicles and scenes, but who knows? It'd be
But
cool.
I think that was prior to him getting licensed with Warner Brothers. You know, I think that was kind of when that was kind of a possibility. Because you remember, he
Yeah.
did do the Vulture. So it's not like unheard
That's
of
true.
to do it there.
Oh yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Original
know.
Willy Wonka was an alien.
That'd be weird. But
That's why chocolate's
anything
so good.
else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up for tonight? Anything else on your mind?
Wasn't there like a poll or something that you wanted to do at the end or talk about? I thought there was
Yeah,
something
but we
you brought up earlier in the show.
We
Okay,
could save it for next Wednesday if we want.
sure.
What is the thrill of collecting?
What's the biggest thrill?
Oh, there it is. That's what it was.
What do you look forward to the most? What do you get the most enjoyment out of? Honestly, if we're looking at thrills,
I thought we were saving it for next week.
I know, but for me, it's probably the
Okay.
hunt.
What do you-
The thrill
Say
of the
it.
I know,
There you
but
go.
for me, it's
We'll save it.
No, say it
Wow.
now.
you know, you already said the hunt, Graham. We're
Like, I
going.
hate when people do that. I'm not waiting like 4 days for this to happen.
For me,
We
for
still
me-
got 52 in the
It's a
show.
short
Let me
week.
put this up here. And while I do that, you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
For me, it's the announcements, dude. I get so like, I don't know, hot and bothered over announcements, man. Like I like
Jeez.
because you know what's coming.
Makes
You,
me all
you
sweaty.
start,
Wow.
yeah, and you have some more to talk about. You know, it kind of gets you pumped up. Like, oh, are they gonna make this figure? And then they do, and you're all excited to get it. I mean, yeah, getting that, seeing the box outside of your door, outside when whoever ships it, it drops it off at your house. That's really cool too, knowing that it's there. But just hearing the announcements, like this Han Solo is really getting everybody excited. That's the best part.
I just imagine Brick picking up the package off his front doorstep, just sweating. Really happy.
I mean, most
Just
of us
full
sweat
of
while we're
balls.
waiting.
Remember, guys, if there's a sock in the door, we don't go in.
Yeah, all right.
So what would you guys say for so I have the hunt, the arrival, unboxing and adding to display, or what I'm thinking here is just having it in your display down the road. Like what would be a good way of describing that? Like just the it's late.
Kind of self-explanatory. I mean, if you ask me what you just said there, but Mm. I know which one I would pick out of that group.
I'll just say
Yeah.
looking at it for all of time. How about that?
I mean, sure, show whatever. Not my first choice, but you know.
I don't know. Negative 15 characters. Damn it.
I guess I'll jump in and say mine because for some reason Bricks was very sexual.
Well, you guys talk about the sock in the door.
You're hot and bothered, buddy.
No, it's
Hot and bothered.
This announcements get me hot and bothered.
I'm so sorry.
What do you do for like the?
Here.
What do you do for? Wait, hold on, DLO. Before you go, can I ask Brick a question? Like, so if that makes you hot and bothered, like, how do you feel for the next like year plus while you're waiting for said figure to come out?
A lot of blue balls, my friend. A lot of blue balls.
Like Randy from South Park, just parting them around
Oh
town.
my gosh!
What's up, One Adam 12? Thank you for being here. Yes, we talked about Han Solo, and now we're just basically talking shit. Thank you for being here and hanging out with
Great
us.
time to enter the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, nothing beats the hits of nostalgia just staring at it in your collection. That's honestly
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'll just kind of like another poll that I want to do, not today, but it's like, how often do you just like go to your display and like stare at it? Is it daily? Is it multiple times? Is it every couple days? But don't answer that. We'll talk about it. Single Songwriter says being able to pose and take pictures of it. What the fuck? Pre-ordering on the toilet is my favorite part. If you can time
Man
it
out of my own heart
same
there.
time as pushing one out, it's perfect, you know? Time that pre-order button as it's climax.
That's like me during the auction on eBay when there's like a minute left.
Right.
Just timing my bid at the right time.
The suspense. What's up, David? Thank you for being here. Yes, Saturday is a little looser, I would say, than even on Wednesday. But yeah, we're treating us with another stream in 3-day span. Yeah. You said he wants to do figures, but he's having trouble getting the U.S. license from Warner Brothers. No, go figure. Warner Brothers.
Mm.
Venom Collector says the anticipation, once I get it, I don't like it anymore.
That's super relatable. I hate that that's very true about
Or-
this.
Well, even with the Batman, it was like the buildup of a
Right.
year and a half. And there was nothing really wrong with the figure, but you're just like, it's almost like, I mean, we're all married here. You know, when they say like, oh, enjoy your wedding because it'll just end like that and then it's over. I felt like that with the Batman, like waited so
Jesus
long.
Christ.
You plan,
Jesus
What a deflated balloon.
you plan, like you're like looking forward to having the Batman in your collection, and then you have it, and it's just like, okay, now it's here, and it's like, okay, I don't know, it was weird.
That was a
think
sad day for you, I guess.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like I overhyped it, and it was just like, it's over.
I remember too in our chat you were like well you're like it's I forget what exactly you said. You said like, well, it's good, but there's some bad. And I was like, oh shit.
I said it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, even Justin got me all riled up. He's like, oh yeah, this is one of their best ever. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Nothing could be wrong with this one. And then I'm like,
Well, guys, I regret to inform everybody this is the last Wolfpack ever of anything because
I'm not
Rand's
saying
dead,
marriage. I'm saying the wedding.
Dude, that's why
Enjoy
I'm
the
like,
wedding day. Enjoy the wedding day because it goes so fast and then it's over like that, like in a blink of an eye. I'm not saying like you're getting married or anything like that. I'm just saying the same thing with
I want to
the
go on
figure
record
where
say I love my wife. Let's say
you
that.
look
in case-
forward to it, and then but just like that, it arrives and then it's like, okay. it's
I
here.
get it though. I get it. Probably would have chose different words, but I get you.
That was great, babe. All right, let me go look for some more hot
No,
toys.
Oh, Graham.
Good thing she doesn't
Well.
watch.
Someone's clipping that and sending that over.
Anyways, so
But-
where were we?
I was going to answer. So
Go ahead.
we're going to steer this ship in the right direction away from,
Marriage.
I was going to say therapy, but yeah. Yeah, I say for me, it's the hunt. I think the hunt's what keeps me energetic about the hobby there. Yes, and it's now it's no longer about. First, it was really exciting going and like looking for grails and finding grails at the best possible deal. That was really fun for a while there, just because it's almost like a trophy after you've done it. You know, you go back. It's not just that you had the figure, but you got an amazing story about how you got the figure and like what lengths you took to get it. Mine used to be the original Short Trooper. Sneaker told me about his story, how he acquired his, and immediately my story lost all luster. And ever since then, we've never really gotten along. But yeah, like stuff like that, just like finding that rare piece that just, you know, eluded you, whether it be before you really got deep into the hobby, or even now where you're trying to fish for deals within like the excitement and rush of everybody getting theirs at the same time. You're trying to find a way to get yours for a certain particular price. So that for me, hunting is like fun. It really is. It's in a way, it's kind of sad because I don't do it as much as I used to, just because I'm really caught up and I'm really in a place where my collection's a really nice sweet spot for me. But man, every now and then a good hunt, man, that's what this shit's all about for me. Sometimes it just really just makes the hobby so exciting for me personally.
We got good Short Trooper stories.
What's that?
We got good Short Trooper stories.
Yeah, well, I used to have one. Used to have one. So happy. Then I met EvilSneaker. Poo-pooed on it.
There's if anybody needs a Rogue One OG Short Trooper, there was one today on eBay for $240 free shipping. FYI, pretty good deal.
Tragic.
Blue stripe.
I remember when
Blue stripe.
that figure was going for $600.
More.
And in the last year, Steve has gotten one for under $2, and I've gotten one for around $2. So, and again, that's due to the newer ones that have come out. But still, that OG, if you can get it, is the best one. So,
what's crazy, it actually used to outrank in cost of a Tarkin Vader 2-pack and a Han Solo and Chewie and a Dark Vader. I'm not Darth Vader. I mean
That's wild, man.
Dark Anakin. Before those like Mando ones came out, that is how like special that figure was in the community. It was like that intense, and like people would sell those on Facebook. And you know how today Facebook, everybody sells things for pretty dirt cheap. Dude, if that thing went up for $50 less than eBay, gone within seconds. And that was a deal back then. So I got mine for around 400, and I thought that was a steal.
yeah.
But
At the time, it was.
at the time it was for about 2 more years, and then then I met Sneaker. He just-
180 shipped, baby. 180 shipped.
Bastard.
Jeez.
I think mine was 220 shipped. So
Oh man.
something like that. But I think we all have stories about those figures too, where
Love getting a
we
nice
spent
deal
a
like
great
that.
deal on them, and then later down the road
That Trooper's like I don't see that thing ever coming back either. Like that's a really
Nah.
unique style.
I
That's
don't know
done.
how it could. Yeah.
Yeah, they got all these squad leaders you can get now. Like that one that's like kind of like a Grail level Trooper. Honestly, that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, and
So you can still enjoy your
Case of
Grail
Blanco
deal.
says, and they can't give the others away. So really, all they did was kill the value of the OG.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
before you guys go with your thrill, Brad says mine was Crosshair, the hunt. Yeah, and I know he was telling me on the side, privately, just how he was looking for that and finally found it through TBA and Toys by an Agent. And he was a little, I wouldn't say leery, but he never bought from them before, so he was asking questions, and everything came through solid. And yeah, he couldn't be happier. So,
Good for you,
congrats
man.
on getting your Crosshair, man. That's
Hell
really
yeah.
awesome. 2025 episode 3 anniversary. Next year, surely a General Grievous coming soon.
That
Chirrut
would be
and
cool.
Krennic still amazing and hold up really good today. I would agree with that.
Absolutely.
And I don't
Absolutely.
see those coming back anytime soon. So, Brick, you kind of talked about yours. So yours is more of the announcements is where
Yeah.
you get the
But
biggest
out of the ones that you said, though, I mean, I would go with the unboxing. Getting that figure and unboxing it, seeing what it actually looks like in person, and posing her up and all that. So, yeah.
What about you, Sneaker? What's your biggest thrill? Screwing people over? I'm just kidding.
I
Ding,
thought
ding,
when
ding,
you
ding,
said
ding, ding.
screwing, I was
I'm just kidding.
God. Oh, the biggest. Oh, I got to go with DLO, the thrill of the hunt. I live for that shit, honestly, on a daily basis. Just like as much as I love opening figures, and obviously, like, that's an easy answer, right? Like, we all love getting figures and opening up our figures. Like, that's kind of a given. But I kind of want to go with something different. Kind of like what DLO said. Like, the thrill of the hunt and the end product is opening something that you've been hunting down for a while. Like, that's just icing on the cake, right? When you just hunt for an extended period of time and you finally like get a good deal on something from doing just like, I mean, I just think of how many times I've looked for figures. Like Tarkin Vader 2-pack was something I chased down for a year. Finally got it, and then Vader was just garbage. But replaced the suit, got it, and still, like, the Tarkin Vader price that I got, Tarkin alone is going for more than like what I got it for. So I really can't complain. And yes, Hammer of God, I did sell my Warner Brothers 100 brown shipper for $80. It was $100 shipped, I think, is what I ended up selling it for
a brown box.
How did you pack it? What did you do? Like, I'm
So
curious.
what I did was I took the brown shipper from Wonder Woman, had
Right.
the shipper. That's what I was selling. It was mint because I double boxed it. When Graham gave me his pre-order, I said, please double box it.
You
So as
can have
mint as can
put
be.
that part out there again.
I took
Okay.
brown like packing paper that was in like the sideshow box, just brown packing paper. I put that inside of the shipper,
Mhm.
and then I surrounded it with bubble wrap, and I put it back in the same box that Sideshow sent me the figure in. So it was still like a not a like light box. Like, I packed that thing so that it could not be damaged.
A fucking
But
cardboard box.
Crazy.
$80 plus shipping. I mean, it was still considerably, like, it's a big box, so it was still like almost $20.
But you know
to
what?
ship the damn
The
thing.
debate about brown chippers and not brown chippers, that is a key reason why I still keep mine. For
Very
that one
I can-
guy
Oh,
who
yeah.
wants it, because that
Yeah.
can be the difference between a deal or not.
Yeah.
So
I was
Yep.
like, you know what? This figure is expensive. I'm going to make my $80 on it, which for me, Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman, already an expensive figure, to get $80 knocked off for a box. I don't care because I'm keeping that figure, whatever. And also, like, if you get it from overseas, like first batch, you don't even get a shipper. So
Right.
like, I could probably still end up selling it if I wanted to. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, the hunt is just like, I don't know. There's something about the hunt and just like looking at figures is just, you know, when you're passionate about the hobby and it's just like, it just on a daily basis, just like looking up figures and learning the market and just like, it just kind of like drives me, honestly. It's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I feel like if you're into that sort of thing, but yeah, knowing the market is just really important. I feel like for this hobby, and just the more you know, the better. And yeah, hunting down figures is just so fun and very satisfying when you get that amazing deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, only 17 of you voted, but 47% said unboxing and adding to the display. 29% said the hunt. 11% said the arrival. And 11% said looking at it until the end of time. So
there you go. Didn't see it going that way, but okay.
Yeah, neither. Cool. Well, I think that's going to just about do it for us. It was fun hanging out with all of you tonight. It was, it felt looser than normal, just kind of like a hangout. So they all are, but I don't know. This one just felt extra special. So thank you guys in the panel for making the time to be here and staying up late with me. Thank you for you guys in the chat staying late. Thank you for signing up to be a member. Thank you for the super chats. I really do appreciate that. And we did just do a show Wednesday. Do you guys want to plug yourselves, or we just want to end it?
I will replug mine.
Okay,
So-
go ahead.
I guess we're plugging
Out of
ourselves.
We're plugging.
respect,
Plug
it up.
myself. Hot and titillated.
Rick had a
Rick's-
nice show today with Shane, a 1/6 figure focus. So, and Sneaker decided to drop his
Thank you.
Iron Man 3 today, which was cool. Good stuff. I said I was going to drop mine Saturday. I saw.
Oh,
all
I gotta watch
action
that. I didn't
there.
know you did a review on that.
I just
Yeah,
dropped it
yeah.
earlier. A
Nice.
few hours
Yeah.
ago.
So I pushed my my video to Monday. So Monday mine will drop instead of today because it got a little crowded on the pack and no one told me that. So it's all good. It's all good. No one told me they're gonna do everything today. And then we said,
Don't gaslight us,
and-
D-Lo.
and then Graham said, "Oh yeah, you guys want to do Wolfpack in Wolfpack Wednesday.
Oh,
on
you ate that
Giant.
shit up.
So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
fuck me, I guess. That's fine. Whatever. No, but I will drop it on Monday for you guys here. Figured fuck it, might as well just do it on Monday. I'm
excited
swearing
for
way
that.
too much right now. Let me stop that. But follow me on IG, DLO The Collector. I like to take new snapshots. I post a new photo every Wednesday right before the show. So yeah, you can find me on there and check out some of my videos in the meantime until Monday when I'll drop a brand new one.
Cool. How about you, Brick?
Man, I've been so focused on these live streams, I haven't really come up with any actual video content. But yeah, I was on Visions earlier today, like we talked about. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Movie Cannons stream, Figure Talk, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Time. And then Monday night, mark your calendars, hit that notification bell, go over to my channel because at 8:30 p.m. Central, we have the Bugle 6 Episode 2. We are going to talk a little bit about these figures. I don't want to talk too much because, especially now, since I was on tonight. But do want to bring those up on my channel, and then I'm going to do a lot of the DC talk. So if you guys are interested in James Gunn, what he's doing with the DC, and then we have games on there too, like Top or Bottom, and we're gonna eventually come with a Hot Toys fantasy game that I came up with. So really looking forward to some of that stuff. So come check it out with Flavio and myself. The following episode will be fun because I'm gonna start having some guests as well. So see you there.
Very good. Sneaker, it's going to take you about 10 minutes to ramble off all you've been doing, but give it a shot.
Okay, here I go. Within the last week, dropped a lot of stuff. So like 6 days ago, Cobb Vanth review came out. You can check that out. And then Wolfpack Wednesdays. I forgot how many days I streamed in a row this week because that's how it's been. This is my 4th night streaming live. So it's been a busy week. But yesterday, I just dropped my Wrecker review from the Bad Batch. You can go check that out. Today, Iron Man Mark III. So 2 back-to-back reviews and then 3 reviews in like the past week. So just, pumping out a lot of content. A couple of reviews coming up. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to review Comic Spidey, even though it's kind of older news. I do want to do a review on that figure. And also, I just got Upgraded Goblin in. Haven't even taken him out of the box yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing a review on that. And then that's it. I don't really have anything else right now. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do another live stream, Revenge of the Six or something, or another collector tour in the imminent future once I find a guest for the collector tour, which shouldn't be too hard. But that'll be coming as always in the near future as well. Yep, that's it. That's all I got.
Very good, very good. And again, you can find all of these guys' handles in the description below, so make sure that you're following each and every one of them. As for me, I just did a Han Solo preview video on Thursday. I think this week I might do a top 5 figures that I sold but couldn't live without, so that I basically bought back again. So I think that's not something that I've seen done before. So you know what? And I'm not too proud to do that. So I think that would be a fun video to do. So that one might be coming out next week. I have the Mars Toys Alfred on its way, so maybe in a couple weeks be able to review that. And who knows? Maybe Catwoman will come home within the next couple weeks as well. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Be safe tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Keep on bricking. Good night.
Keep on bricking.